saying as UPPZ, we will give him the support this time. The reason we are giving him the support, he has 5 more years to prove and to say, Zambians, this is what I can deliver. And Mr. President, I'm addressing you. I'm not just coming as an individual, as CC, to bring this support to you. I come to represent our Royal Highnesses. They've been calling me. And it's because of the rural agenda that I had as UPPZ president. I'm representing our suffering Royal Highnesses. They need better treatment. And I'm saying, I'm coming to this alliance representing our Royal Highnesses. Let's improve on their accommodation issue. Let's improve on their transportation issue. We cannot treat members of parliament better than our Royal Highnesses. So I come with the support of many chiefs in this country, and they're also hearing me. We are saying, let's give them better houses. Let's give them electricity. Let's give them cars, the way we treat our MPs. Mr. President, I'm not coming alone. I'm coming with the support of our women in rural Zambia. They've been crying, and I've visited almost every province, and there's one cry. And they've been looking to UPPZ because of our agenda. Our women in rural Zambia are suffering. They have to walk long distances to go to clinics and hospitals. Some of them, they deliver their babies in the bush, and remember, hyenas go for little ones. They risk their babies to be eaten by hyenas because there are no hospitals.
Now, the political chessboard has not just shifted, it has been completely withdrawn. Today, as President Hakainde Hichilema celebrates his birthday, he faces a landscape of unmatched political dominance. Across the nation, over 15 UPND candidates stand entirely unopposed for the August 13th elections. Their paths cleared as rival presidential aspirants drop out one by one, to offer their endorsements. To some, this is a masterclass in strategic unity, a consolidation of vision to move a nation forward. To others, it looks like political cowardice, a question, or rather a quiet surrender that leaves the ballot box empty and the voter without a voice. Is this unprecedented alignment the ultimate birthday gift for a sitting head of state? Or is it a silent siren song warning us that Zambia's hard-won multi-democracy is under threat? When opposition vanishes, does stability begin or does accountability die? This morning, we are dropping the needle on these hard questions. So pull up your chair and lock in and welcome to it. This is the Thursday edition of the Royal Breakfast Show. We are glad that you could actually get to join us on this particular day. It is the 4th of June, 2026. You're either watching us on DSTV channel 277, GoTV channel 23, and Topstar channel 89. We are also live on our Facebook page, equally on our YouTube channel as well, which is CrownTVZambia. You can be a part of this particular conversation. But remember that as you get to engage with us, do not use this particular platform to campaign or, make comments that are demeaning to the other people. And remember that you only have 1 minute and 40 seconds to air out your views on various issues that we're going to be tabling this particular day. My name is Mike Mudenda Hasagara. Good morning.
Yesterday, we had actually heard of how Pastor Peter Chanda of the NCP had actually endorsed the president, of which it's his birthday today. And then now we also hear it of the president of the UPPZ, who has also spoken about the fact that they are going to be joining the UPND alliance. All of that is what we're going to be looking at today. And of course, many much more things. We saw yesterday how the dollar had actually dropped to 17 kwacha. We can talk about how this actually affects you as a Zambian citizen, and also just go into a little bit more depth when it comes to that. Otherwise, my name is Ndashi. I will not give you my middle name because I know that it's going to be abused.
And my name is Makokwa Kozi. Thank you very much for joining us for another exciting edition of the Royal Breakfast Show. Now, previously, people used to say that the ruling UPND had no opposition, and now we see that quite a number of presidential candidates that were vying for the position of presidency are now backing down and throwing their weight behind President Hakainde Hichilema. Does this really mean that there's no opposition? We did see, however, that there are other political parties that have gone on campaigning and making sure that they canvass all the votes as we head to the August 13th general elections. We are going to be asking the hard questions, as Mike Mudenda Sagala puts it, and we also want to be hearing what your thoughts are as regards this particular topic that we are going to be discussing this particular morning. Now, remember that there are only a few days remaining before the World Cup kicks off in America, and we also are going to be talking a little bit about that, and also the Four Nations tournament that is coming up over the weekend to be hosted by the Copper Queens in Ndola. We're going to be talking about that as we draw to the end of this particular program. I am surprised to learn that Mike is a Mudenda.
But I'm surprised you didn't introduce yourself.
I did I?
No, he did.
He didn't.
That's the first thing he ever did.
No.
He said, my name is Makokwa Kozi.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's okay.
Yeah. And I'm also surprised that we've been together for about how many years now? And you guys haven't noticed, or you haven't known. I don't know what you've been hearing.
You know, you see, it doesn't help you now to lie because you were already smeared powder.
What do you mean?
You were already smeared powder yesterday, so why now?
I mean, yesterday, did I? Was I?
Well, I saw a
The
picture.
pictures on your page on Facebook.
These are some members that mistakenly, just like you guys have been mistakenly, identifying me as an Easterner. Somewhere.
Are you sure?
Did you not say yourself that you speak Chichewa and that you're from
and I speak Tonga,
that you're
Nyanja,
from the
I speak
East as well?
I mean, I decide where I'm from.
Did you not 2 weeks ago tell us that you failed to travel to the Eastern Province for a funeral of your grandfather?
Now look at him bringing now my issues.
Mr. Mutenda. You don't really.
Regardless.
He doesn't come across as somebody with a middle name. I just thought you likes the color.
No, I do. I actually do have a middle name. My middle name is Mudenda, and I don't know now. Let me just put the record straight because you guys have mistaken. I don't know what you've been hearing or how you've been hearing it, but it is
Mike, tell those lies to people that don't know you.
Right?
Sir, do you know me?
Why wouldn't I?
Do you know who I am? So lovely good morning anyways, regardless. But I know that there is this particular tradition that is happening between the Bembas and the Ngonis. I mean, I find myself in that particular bracket because sometimes I love to be Zambian and I identify by many tribes, obviously. I can identify as a Chewa today, I can identify as a Ngoni, a Bemba, but particularly during this period, I am Mudenda Hasagala.
Chichi Daisy had a feud day yesterday here.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of people commenting, where's Mike Sakala?
Okay.
It's not Sakala, guys, please. It's Hasagala.
One of my friends was busy coughing when I came in.
Because they are powder, I mean. But let's get into our program this particular morning, ladies and gentlemen. What is on your mind this particular morning?
This morning, on my mind is surprise. I'm really, really surprised to see some candidates that are endorsing President Hakainde Hichilema. What surprised me the most is the UPPZ leader. I was really surprised to see him endorse President Hichilema.
I think the same thing is on my mind as well. I was also quite surprised, especially for Pastor Peter Chanda, the president of NCP. I don't think I ever saw this coming when we heard about the news yesterday. On top of that, he also now joined the alliance. So, yeah, I think that's what's on my mind.
Mass candidate withdrawals and opposition endorsements. We are asking the question: is this genuine realignment or political cowardice? For now, we take a break. When we come back, we're going to be getting into the daybreak news rather at 6:30, and we'll be getting you into the stories that are majoring in our news this particular morning. Stay tuned.
The Zambia Travel Expo ZATEX is back. Stronger, more connected, more impactful. Welcome to ZATEX 2026 from June 4th to the 6th, where opportunity meets authenticity. Driven by the spirit of Zambia moves you. This premier event once again brings together global tourism buyers, investors, and tourism leaders to one of Africa's most compelling destinations. On June 4th, make meaningful interactions with tourism buyers at the Buyers Day, curated business-to-business engagements. On June 5th, join us at the ZATEX official opening to be officiated by President Hakainde Hichilema. On June 6th, Consumer Day, a vibrant showcase of culture, travel experiences, and live entertainment. ZATEX 2026 is back, showcasing the very best of Zambia. Register at www.zatex.org. ZATEX 2026, building authentic and sustainable tourism through partnerships.
Still a lovely Thursday. Good morning and welcome to our daybreak news for today on the Royal Breakfast Show. Now, starting straight into our news, 8 key suspects that allegedly murdered a Chingola-based businesswoman are still on the run as police investigations into the murder case continues. Helen Kamutumbe met her fate after falsely being accused by a 25-year-old man of Karumbila's Kisasa area to have mysteriously stolen his private parts. Northwestern Division Commanding Officer Brighton Swale says police have been looking for the identified 8 suspects who have relocated from Kalumbila to other parts of the country, including neighboring countries. Mr. Swale explains that police are actively pursuing the suspects and has since appealed to the suspects to come back home and answer to the charges.
2 months after a Chingola-based woman was gruesomely murdered by a mob at Kalimbila's Kisasa Market, 8 suspects remain on the run. Helen Kamtumbe met her fate after forcefully accused by a 25-year-old man to have magically stolen his private parts. The incident occurred on 20th March 2026 at Kisasa Market in Kalumbila District. It was a shocking story that people in Kalumbila District and the country at large still talk about, and one that police say has not closed. Police have made arrests, and 19 individuals have been charged with murder. In addition to these arrests, police are still looking for 8 suspects. Northwestern Division Commanding Officer Brighton Swale now explains.
There are some key suspects we are looking for who have since relocated. And it's rumored some are going to neighboring countries. 8 key suspects are on the run. And the police were actively pursuing them.
Mr. Swale's urged suspects who have relocated from Kalumbila to surrender themselves to police.
And maybe my appeal to them and the relatives, people around, just request them to turn down, come back home. There is no place like home. Let them come and answer to charges. Other than us, wasting government time, following you, pursuing you and resources. You know, it should be doubled. Just one up and come back. Come and answer to charges. There are 8 who were identified in those videos and the information gathered through intelligence.
Patrick Mackay, Crown TV News, Solwezi.
Now, traditional leaders in Choma District, Southern Province, have pledged to continue supporting the government due to the development witnessed in just 5 years. Speaking during a community engagement meeting held in Mutangalike Ward, which was chaired by Choma District UPND Chairman Hatchwell Indikiti, the traditional leaders revealed that in just one term of the UPND's tenure, the country has seen the introduction of the free education and political will to improve the agricultural sector, evidenced by the increased supply of farming inputs. They have since called upon the nation to give the New Dawn government an opportunity to complete the projects it has started. Meanwhile, the Choma District Youth Chairman noted that the development seen so far is a result of voting for leaders who care.
The traditional leaders have continued to play an important role in governance and driving positive change. With the country being politically charged, different stakeholders have continued to give their opinions on the national political affairs, some calling for the change of government, while others advocating for the return of the ruling party. Traditional leaders in Choma District in Southern Province have pledged to continue supporting the government due to the massive development witnessed in just 5 years of being in office. Speaking during a community engagement meeting held in Mutandalike Ward, which was chaired by the Choma District UPND Chairman Hatchwell Indikiti, the traditional leaders revealed that in just one term of the UPND's tenure, the country has seen the introduction of free education policy and the political will to improve the agriculture sector, as evident by the increase in supply of the farmers' input support. They've since called upon the nation to give the New Dawn government an opportunity to complete the projects in the next term.
President eno shuwa mbangari inga muntu uraswega aga hotere ijita bwenwe warega jibwe ora
tagwe no tuyiga sosoroge pe dino kuganana kwangu kwa kwamba ura kwamba kuti mwasiga kaiswe tobasi mabugu ndiswe tura abantu
ani uba kuti bana twagarega unjira munkomo kubaderera basi jigoro ruiya guri barai akabote omirimo tuyibona meho tu imari ACDF tagwe barwitwa abuyawa tonse tulibwene mage mbori mbaba usikoromboza yasumpuga ima desigi ibana tagwe mwana ukaransi
ma mugati muzyuno igambo nkaga igambo kusanguna BPC fu organized digabotu in South, no one is in name.
Meanwhile, the Choma District Youth Chairman noted that the development seen so far is as a result of voting for a leader who cares. He further challenged the citizens to remain focused and vote for all candidates on the UPND ticket in order for the presidency to work effectively.
Chotiana ndo muno ndo sumpugo beregera antomwe kamba oti income yesu yabuguru shabulimi. And the
UPND District Treasurer, Obvious Zulu, has outlined the various achievements scored by the UPND in just 5 years of being in office. As the countdown to 13th August continues, the only question that will be answered after that is if the people will trust the UPND with another mandate or if they will give another party the mandate to rule the country until 2031. Tryford Bugowa Jr. reporting for Crown TV News in Choma District, Southern Province.
Now, the United Party for National Development, UPND, in Ndola district says it has put differences aside following the confusion that erupted during the filing in of nominations for the mayoral seat and will now rally behind its adopted candidate. Addressing the media in Ndola, UPND Ndola District Chairperson Onesmus Mudenda says the confusion was limited to an individual and did not affect the party's unity and stability. He states that all candidates have now agreed to rally behind Sharon Nsofwa as the party's preferred candidate for the mayoral seat. Mr. Mudenda also reaffirmed that the party's preferred candidate for Bwana Mkubwa constituency remains Warren Mwambazi, despite a court case filed against him by Copperbelt Province Youth Chairperson Warren Hinyama.
After publicly displaying their divisions, the UPND in Ndola district says it has now closed ranks and is rallying behind its adopted mayoral candidate, Sharon Nsofwa. Despite earlier disagreements and open disagreements played out in public, UPND Ndola district officials have come together to pledge support and work with Ms. Nsofwa as the party's preferred candidate for the mayoral seat.
I want to announce to the public that we are not divided, we are united. And we just want to send a very strong warning to the opposition. You should not take advantage of the in-house fighting, because we are one family that is very united. Whether you like it or not, we are carrying the day on 13th August because we are working as a coordinated team.
And ourselves, we are going to support her 100%. We are going to work with her 24/7 and united. If you are not united, definitely takes to pity.
At this point, the party has given us Sharon Nsofwa. She's a qualified candidate. She has met the conditions for the party and the conditions of ECZ. Therefore, I want to call upon members of the public and especially the people of Ndola. Let us give her the respect that she deserves as a mayoral candidate, based on those qualifications.
Speaking at a media briefing, UPND Ndola District Chairman Onesmus Mudenda said the party is stronger than many think. He described the area fights as internal disagreements that can be resolved at any time.
It's no other than Sharon Nsofwa, a woman for that matter who have the heart for the people. This is where we are as a district in our party. As a result, it's somewhere whereby you have got a lot of players that can all score, but you can only pick one. And
that a criminal had already filed in who obtained the adoption certificate fraudulently. So we are here to put up the petition. It was for me, who is serving under President Hakainde Hichilema, who believes in the rule of law. What has happened is criminal and it cannot be left unchecked. The nonsense, I call it a nonsense, which happened for someone who wants to represent the people of Bwana Mkubwa can steal the adoption certificate.
Mkubwa constituency as a party duly elected is no other than Honorable Warren Mwambazi, and we have already started campaigning there.
I, for one, am very comfortable, I'm happy, because it's a party that I've chosen. The party is more bigger than me. The party stands for the people, and there's a reason why they have put him to be there. And every one of us has got something in the party, and I've got no worry, I'm not bitter. And to make it even better for all of you to know, as a journalist, we sat with my colleague, and he has appointed me as his campaign manager. I'm campaigning for him seriously, vigorously. I want to win Bwana Mkubwa big.
With that said, the question that many have is whether this reconciliation is genuine or just for show. How the party works together to secure victory in Ndola district remains to be seen. Only time will tell if this unit holds until election day. Reporting for Crown TV News, I'm David Kunda in Ndola District, Kupabel Province.
UPP President Charles Chanda has endorsed President Hakainde Hichilema and the United Party for National Development, UPND, ahead of the forthcoming general elections. Speaking to the media, Mr. Chanda said some opposition leaders seeking the presidency have not repented of corruption, cadreism, and other practices that Zambians rejected in the 2021 elections. Mr. Chanda has since announced that his party has resolved to join the UPND alliance ahead of the August 13th general elections. He said President Hichilema deserves another mandate to continue implementing the developmental agenda he began 5 years ago. Mr. Chanda further stated that he would mobilize support from rural communities and traditional leaders in backing President Hichilema's re-election bid. Here's more.
Saying as UPPZ, we will give him the support this time. The reason we are giving him the support, he has 5 more years to prove and to say, Zambians, this is what I can deliver. And Mr. President, I'm addressing you. I'm not just coming as an individual, as CC, to bring this support to you. I come to represent our Royal Highnesses. They've been calling me. And it's because of the rural agenda that I had as UPPZ president. I'm representing our suffering Royal Highnesses. They need better treatment. And I'm saying, I'm coming to this alliance representing our Royal Highnesses. Let's improve on their accommodation issue. Let's improve on their transportation issue. We cannot treat members of parliament better than our Royal Highnesses. So I come with the support of many chiefs in this country, and they're also hearing me. We are saying, let's give them better houses. Let's give them electricity. Let's give them cars, the way we treat our MPs. Mr. President, I'm not coming alone. I'm coming with the support of our women in rural Zambia. They've been crying. And I've visited almost every province, and there's one cry. And they've been looking to UPPZ because of our agenda. Our women in rural Zambia are suffering. They have to walk long distances to go to clinics and hospitals. Some of them, they deliver their babies in the bush, and remember, hyenas go for little ones. They risk their babies to be eaten by hyenas because there are no hospitals.
In other stories this morning, former Lunte Member of Parliament Makokwa Kozi has expressed concern over the state of democracy ahead of the 13th August 2026 elections. Mr. Kozi alleged that opposition and independent candidates are facing intimidation and political violence, raising questions about the credibility of the electoral process. He further questioned whether the current political environment would allow for free and fair elections and urged authorities to uphold constitutional rights and democratic principles. Speaking at the same briefing, former Lukasha Member of Parliament George Chisanga said the Tonse Alliance remains united and prepared for the elections, despite what he described as intimidation by the ruling party.
That what UPND has demonstrated is a very bad standard of democracy. First of all, it is incorrect to circumvent a person from contesting an election, whether that person wants to contest on NRPUP or that they want to contest on UPND, or even as an independent. People's rights to participate in an election must be respected because this is constitutional. Failing to let people contest elections if they do want and they qualify is in fact violating their constitutional rights. Do you recall what UPND did to the Democratic Party. Honorable Harikarawa had to form a new political party. Are you able to remember what they did to the National Democratic Party?
Zambia is experiencing one of the most violent incidences from the time that the nominations were filed up to now. In fact, these incidences started even before the filing of nominations, and most of the fights were within the camp of the UPND. At that time, we could not be very concerned because we didn't know what was causing the infighting within the UPND. But of course, it became very clear soon thereafter, because most of those who would have been very formidable members of parliament, mayors, and even council chairpersons in the UPND were frustrated into not fighting. And that was after they had their credentials removed from them. If you heard, the UPND had suggested that each one should surrender their regional certificates of grade 12 and other credentials as they were vying to be not to be adopted for standing on the UPND tickets. The idea was clearly because they wanted to make sure that they reduced the number of those who are going to stand either on our tickets or on independent.
Colleagues have expressed concerns about the Electoral Commission of Zambia. At least we appreciate that they've given guidance on the issue of those that have filed in as independents. But we still want to call upon Electoral Commission of Zambia to take action by enforcing the electoral process law. Violence is prohibited even in the supreme document of the land, the Constitution. Therefore, you must not just end about at condemning the actions, the violence that took place in various nomination centers. We would like you to take action as you are mandated. Anti-Corruption Commission, you can't be sleepy and only wait for instructions on who to pursue. There are cases of corrupt activities that have been highlighted, that have been reported. People being enticed to withdraw their valid filed nominations.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has launched an online electoral conflict management system aimed at enhancing the timely and transparent resolution of election-related disputes. Speaking during the launch, Commission Chairperson Mwangala Zalumis says the platform has been introduced to ensure electoral conflicts are addressed swiftly before they escalate into more serious disputes. Ms. Zalumis has noted that the digital system will improve efficiency, accountability, and accessibility in handling complaints and conflicts arising from the electoral process. The Commission has also unveiled an online accreditation system designed to simplify and streamline the accreditation process for stakeholders ahead of the 13th August 2026 pause, allowing applicants to submit and track their accreditation requests electronically.
With just over 60 days remaining before Zambia heads to the polls, the Electoral Commission of Zambia has embraced technology as part of efforts to promote peaceful, transparent, and credible elections. The Commission has unveiled 2 digital platforms aimed at improving election management and stakeholder participation. The systems will facilitate the accreditation of media personnel and other election stakeholders, while also providing a platform for reporting and managing electoral conflicts. Speaking during the launch, ECZ Chairperson Mwangala Zalumis says the introduction of the systems demonstrates the Commission's commitment to strengthening the credibility, transparency, and integrity of the electoral process. Ms. Zalumis has noted that the platforms have been designed to be user-friendly and accessible to all stakeholders, ensuring that electoral concerns are addressed efficiently and in a timely manner.
The Commission has approved and resolved to deploy an innovative conflict management early warning system for the 2026 general election. I'll repeat that. To change this narrative, the Commission has approved and resolved to deploy an innovative conflict management early warning system, which we short, called AWS, for the 2026 general election.
Meanwhile, ECZ Chief Electoral Officer Brown Kasaro says the Commission will work closely with key stakeholders, including the Zambia Police, to ensure that electoral disputes are effectively managed and resolved. Mr. Kasaro has emphasized that maintaining peace during the electoral period requires collaboration among all institutions involved in the electoral process.
Now, that does not preclude the police from executing their mandate, their national mandate, in terms of law and order. So, given that in that case, they would be eyewitnesses, they will go ahead to call for backup or make arrests where it's necessary to do so, to execute their mandate. So if it's a criminal offense that is happening, you don't necessarily need to say, no, let me, but the returning officer issue an instruction for me to. So this is why we did indicate that in all these incidences, there's that close collaboration so that we make sure that the operations at the polling station or indeed at the nomination center or totaling center are as peaceful as possible.
And ECZ Information and Communication Technology Director Collins Kachaka has called on citizens to actively participate in promoting peaceful elections by reporting incidents of electoral conflict through the newly launched platform instead of relying solely on the media to raise concerns.
This is an issue which we in the IT have debated for years. It requires national funding. This is important that all systems in the country in Zambia should be in Bemba, should be in Chewa, should be in Tonga, should be in Luvale, should be in Lozi, should be in Kaonde, and so on. So that to allow all citizens to participate in the economy. To do that in IT, we need a dictionary which is online in Bemba, in Chewa, in Lozi, in Tonga, in Luvale, Lunda, and so on.
Now, finally, no news this morning. The National Heroes Stadium playing turf has been declared fit for games. This was after inspection by the Ministry of Sports Permanent Secretary Kangwa Chileshe. Stadium contractor Marius van Nieuwkerk says the army worm infestation has been dealt with and the field is in perfect condition. And Kangwa says he is impressed with the works at Heroes. He revealed that the first game to be played on the turf will be in July of 2026.
Singular plant. It takes a little bit longer than your normal standard field to come back.
Okay. But ideally, if you maintain it well, it lasts long.
It lasts.
Very good. That's what people.
No, it lasts.
Yeah. But that's the reason why
You
we
do-
polarized
you do
towards
your yearly
towards the
interseeding,
hybrid, because
it will-
we were told that if we maintain it well,
Yes.
it lasts longer
It
than
does.
a natural
Yeah.
turf. That's why.
I'm impressed. I will confess to you, I was very worried. You know, like most Zambians, when I heard that there was an infestation of armyworms, I didn't even want to come here. I was so depressed, you know. And then I saw the pictures. The grass looked brown from the beautiful pictures that we had sent. I think Honorable Elvis Nkandu had put some pictures on his page and also on the ministry page that everybody was commending us for a marvelous job that was done to the turf. And so to see this infestation of armyworms was very disappointing. To look at the state of the grass now, obviously look at it, it's green. It's picking up. Of course, it can be better, it needs to be cut, but it's been restored. That's very good. Looking back in hindsight, I'm also sad, but also happy that the infestation of the armyworms happened while the team is here. Now, you can imagine, had we procured the turf, handed over, and then we had infestation of army.
Well, that sporting story brings us to the end of today's Daybreak News. Do sure to catch our media news at 12 hours, as well as our evening grand news at 18:30 hours. Thank you so much for watching. For now, we take a break, and we come back. We continue with the rest of the Royal Breakfast Show. Stay tuned.
Salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ have come. Lift one hand and now lift the other hand, because our man of God in a surrendered position is more dangerous than an entire army.
The Lord of Hosts is the one who is the King of Glory. So when you're with the Lord of Hosts, you can access the glory realm. He is the King of Glory who rules over all creation.
It is your gift that will bring you before great men. Each of you have a gift. The Bible says Jesus took captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. All of you have a gift. Find it and use it to solve the problems of others. Therein lies your wealth.
Whenever we are increasing, we become a threat to the children of darkness. Even Jesus saw them in his time and he identified them. He said, "You children of serpents."
On a busy day in Lusaka, right in the middle of a vlogging, Mr. Simon Mwelo's phone battery died. Well, he knew what to do next. He called Zambia's top cell phone and accessories dealer. In a flash, problem solved. Across town, Dr. Sia Twambo was getting ready for a presentation when he realized that his PA forgot something. A quick call to Mobile City and his projector screen was delivered in no time. Meanwhile, Vana Fiasasa was about to leave for the village when she remembered she needed a phone upgrade. One call to Mobile City and a new phone arrived just in time. Vana Fiasasa snapping a selfie before hitting the road? But wait, I thought the other guys were in a hurry. For free, fast and reliable delivery, trust Mobile City. Beware of scammers. Mobile City Delivery. You order, we deliver.
Are you passionate about making a positive impact on communities? Do you dream of a career that combines psychology, social justice, and community empowerment?
Enroll in our June 2026 intake for the Diploma in Child and Adolescent Mental Health, community-based work with children and youth.
Dive into a transformative journey of learning and advocacy.
Immerse yourself in courses that explore human development, social policy, and diverse perspectives. Gain hands-on experience through community projects and internships.
REPSI is a TVETA-accredited institution and offers all programs through online situated distance learning. You'll be empowered with the skills to create real lasting impact in communities.
Join us in shaping a brighter, more inclusive future for children and young people. Enroll with us for a program that equips you with the skills to create real, lasting impact.
To start your application, email us admissions.zambia@repsi.org or www.repsi.org or our Facebook page @RepsiZambia or call 0770 707 924. Together, let's make a difference through love, care, and protection for children.
Welcome back. You are still watching the Royal Breakfast Show on Crown Television. Today, Thursday, which happens to be the 4th of June 2026. There's so much important occasions that are happening today, and obviously we're going to be getting into those of you that are celebrating their birthdays, because trust me, you need to have your fingers crossed for the biggest birthday in the country today. It's coming from Plot 1. Just a hint there. But before I get into all of those kind of issues, let's just get to find out how the money markets are doing, or how the money market is doing this particular morning, in case you want to go through the exchange rating, where you have got a kwacha that you want to convert into a dollar, or even a dollar that you want to convert into kwacha, vice versa. This is how it looks like, as Dash takes us through the money markets this morning.
So the Great British Pound is buying at 23 kwacha 67 ngwe. It's buying at 23 kwacha 67 ngwe, and selling at 24 kwacha 8 ngwe. And then the Rand is buying at 1 kwacha 8 ngwe and selling at 1 kwacha 10 ngwe. And then the United States dollar, both sides now looking good, at 17 kwacha 63 ngwe, and then 17 kwacha 93 ngwe is what you are selling it for. And then the euro is buying at 20 kwacha 45 ngwe and then selling at 20 kwacha 80 ngwe. The rates are indicative and they do vary from bank to bank. And as of yesterday, Mr. Kozi, we have been talking about it since March. Well, unfortunately, in March, it didn't actually happen. But finally, the dollar is sitting at 17. Not on the dot, but we are getting there.
Sure. So this was projected to happen in the year, in the month of March. It has delayed, but now we see that it has come down to 17. We are hoping that the kwacha continues to remain strong against the other major convertibles. And the fact that now we are getting into the campaign period, of course, political parties will want to come and have their materials printed, and there'll be money in circulation. All these printing companies will be getting these contracts to print out stuff for political parties, people that are hiring music systems for rallies, and others will both obviously hiring their stages and stuff like that. So there will be a lot of money that will be in circulation, and I'm hoping that we'll continue on that particular trajectory, because this was has been long overdue. We were informed that this was going to be in the month of March rather, but now we are here. And that is, I think, what everyone was expecting. But it would be good to see it go further.
More down.
Down, yes.
Yeah. Further down.
If there was a word like down in English, more down.
No. But there are several key indicators for the reason why the dollar is actually dropped. And that is because of our mining and foreign inflows. So according to the Bank of Zambia Governor, Dr. Denny Kalyaya, the currency's appreciation is actually largely backed by the US dollar supply from mining companies and then also the offshore investors, and increased investor confidence in the Zambian economy, which was bolstered by the recent sovereign credit rating upgrades and also successful debt restructuring efforts, has also continued to draw foreign capital into the country. And then also the daily interbank and bureau de change rates fluctuate slightly, but the currency has been firmly cementing itself in the 17.9 range recently, making a massive recovery from the depreciation which has been seen in the previous years. So just in case you're wondering why we are at 17 kwacha, these are just a few key indicators.
Those are the few indicators, just like Dash has rightly put it. Let's get into the birthdays for this particular day. It is the 4th of June and it's getting colder and colder, but also on the warmer side of things. Today happens to be that day where Zambia just gets to, as they are continuing with the businesses that's in the context of Zambians, also just get to bear in mind that the Republican president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, is celebrating his 64th birthday today, as he was born in the year 1962. Am I right, Mr. Kozi? Because going to Aranda they are wrong, but 1962 is the year that he was born. As of yesterday, he was 63 years, and today he turns 64, and that's the Republican president there. who actually took over office in 2021 after those particular elections, and Ndashi, who just get to give us through a brief reading into the history of our beloved Republican president. Ndashi.
Yes, so as Mike had mentioned, he was born, the president was actually born on this date, which is the 4th of June, 1962 rather. And he was born in the Southern District of Monze. After attending primary school, he went to Kalomo Secondary School before a government bursary, where he studied and graduated in 1986 with a Bachelor of Arts in Economics and Business Administration. He later obtained an MBA degree in Finance and Business Strategy from the University of Birmingham, which is in the UK. And since then, he's been affectionately known as HH, and has also carved out an impressive track record in business, both locally and internationally. A large commercial farmer. He's now the second biggest cattle rancher in Zambia on 4 ranches, and is one of the biggest suppliers of meat to the local Zambian market, as well as one of Zambia's biggest exporter of hard currency earning beef products. He also holds substantial investments in Zambia's tourism sector, and he is a self-made successful businessman. He is an energetic leader of the major opposition political party in Zambia, the United Party for National Development, which is UPND, which he managed to scoop the elections, which were held on the 12th of August of 2021. So happy birthday to Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, or better yet known in 2021 as Bali.
Happy birthday, Bali. You can send your birthday wishes to the Republican president today, and you can actually get to direct them via our direct contact line, which is 0979958392, or simply go to our Facebook and leave us a comment there. But also allow me to take this particular opportunity, Sarkozy. I've got a young brother who shares a birthday with such a great man as Bali.
Okay.
His name is Warren Sakala. He's also celebrating his birthday today. He was born. That's the young man right there.
Happy birthday, Warren.
Happy birthday, Warren.
Yeah.
Warren Sakala. He's in Livingston, Waterboard now. Big shout out to you, my young brother. Enjoy your day, and definitely, mostly people are actually getting to question because he has more beards than me. They question who is the oldest.
Why are you struggling to grow a beard, sir?
I'm like, it makes me look younger than my younger brother.
Just apply mayonnaise, it'll grow quickly.
Seriously? Are you sure you're lying?
No, for real, it works.
I wouldn't dare try that one. Yes, that's the young man right there, Warren Sakala. Happy birthday to you, brother. Yes, yours is obviously happiness and definitely prosperity and everything else that the good heavens have in store for you.
He
Big
looks
shout out.
naughtier than you.
He looks what?
Naughtier than you.
He looks, doesn't he look more innocent than I?
Nah, there's no innocence when there's Sakala.
Sarkozy, you're laughing on the sidelines. You're like,
yeah, I'm happy.
Are you concurring with the Ndashi?
I think so. When I looked at that face, it looked
more naughtier than
Yeah.
And then Dash said it.
Oh, well, think of the same thing. Look at that face.
He looks
dangerous.
and you know, this guy has got an interest in music.
Oh.
He does music, and he would tell you that you can't debate with Warren when it comes to issues of music that has been produced by either Yo Maps or Makitu. So he called Makitu his godfather. So whatever Makitu has done, in regardless of what your view is, Makitu is just Makitu with Warren. Whatever you think about Yo Maps' songs, Yo Maps is just Yo Maps with Warren. You can't argue with him. He is that staunch fan of these two guys.
Okay.
So he has maintained the Umupondo, the Makitu Umupondo. You know, when Umupondo was actually being released back in the days, the Umupondo, yeah. So he has maintained that in my godfather. So he tries to brand himself, ironically in that particular angle. Yeah, that's why probably he looks a little bit naughty. I don't know if Makitu looks naughty.
It's not even because of that. It's just, I don't know, maybe first impressions, judging a book by its cover.
Yeah, but he's a very good guy. A very chilled one.
Okay.
Big shout out to everybody that's celebrating their birthday today. If you are celebrating yours, let us know in the comment section. On Facebook, it is CrownTVZambia. Always let us know a day before, even a week before that you're going to be celebrating your birthday. We're always interested in getting to celebrate with you. And just right about this particular point in time, we're going to be getting into what's making the news in the various newspapers as we just check how the front pages are looking like this particular day. Remember that you can come through and get to give us your thoughts as well as your views on these particular or various headlines that the newspapers hold today. But remember that as you are commenting, be cordial, be civil in your language. Let us know where you're watching the program from, and also indicate what your name is. We'd love to know you by name. And as we open the phone lines later on, remember to not use this particular platform to campaign or to, make remarks that are not very friendly to other callers. And you only have maximum 2 minutes. If you exceed those, we have no choice but to actually just get to, cut the line. But let's get into the newspapers as you are getting to write to us via text message. Our first newspaper this particular morning is the Daily Nation, which comes through and says load shedding want to retain. That's according to State House. And the story reads, State House Chief Communications Specialist says propaganda by the opposition that the stability in electricity supply is a campaign gimmick will not work. It says the investment in the energy sector is long-term and not tied to the August general election. This story continues on page 3 of the Daily Nation newspaper, but the other one says HH to assent to transformative bills today. Today, obviously, the president is expected to assent to various other bills that we're going to be touching base on as the show gets to progress. On page 3 of this particular story, you can expect to find Munduwile aims to expand agro sector for real economic growth. It says the agriculture sector shall be expanded to include the legal cultivation of marijuana for medicine manufacturing as well as job creation. That's how the story reads in orange there. That's how it looks like in the Daily Nation of today's newspaper.
Now moving on to another newspaper this morning as we get to find out what is making the front page of the headlines. In the Times of Zambia newspaper, the main headline leads with defining moment. HH to sign historic free education into law today. And then on top, there's another headline of which you can read the rest of the story on page 2, where more endorse HH. Next to that, Kwacha continues bullish trend. So you can find more of that story on page 7. At the back, you can find the story or the headline rather, which leads with Heroes Turf ready. As you might have heard in the news, it's ready for playing on again. So that's going to be happening in July, which is next month. And then underneath the picture story of the Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, there's a headline which leads with ECZ launches early warning system. Underneath that, it says, stop it, please. That's according to Kawana. And those are the headlines making the front page of the Times of Zambia newspaper this morning.
0979-958-392 is the number you're sending your text messages to. Let us know what your thoughts are as regards these stories that we're sharing with you. That's a mass newspaper, and it leads with a story, Zambia bleeding. UPND has brought too much hatred. Silumbe. That's the lead story in the mass newspaper. Other stories, open your defense. Judge Chibwiri orders Changala is another story that is making the headlines. Free Xavier unconditionally, Sichinga demands is another story that is in the mass newspaper this morning. The other one says Zambia leads Africa in seed supply, says Sidco. That's another story that is making the headline in the mass newspaper this morning. When campaign song strikes a chord, is a feature that you are going to find in the mass newspaper today. Those are the stories that are in the mass newspaper. You can pick on any of those particular stories and share with us your thoughts on 0979-958-392.
Or equally go to our Facebook page and leave us a comment there. It is Crown TV Zambia, and we're going to be getting to touch based on what your thoughts are this particular morning on these particular stories that are coming through from the various newspapers. We move on to the next newspaper, which is the Zambia Daily Mail. It comes through with a leading story. It says pension bonanza, HH to assent to 5 bills, including free education and pension reforms. That's the lead story there. The other one says Kwacha outperforms regional currencies. And this obviously was witnessed when we did our money markets, as we are seeing that 17 Kwacha ratios is where the the Kwacha is performing at. And this has been actually the major milestone over the years. It's been quite a lot of years since we saw the Kwacha performing so very greatly. The other one says eyes on pause, ECZ activates early warning system, is a story that you expect to find. The other one says public warned over misinformation. Graft convicted, not political prisoners, is a story that you expect to find in there. And the other one says more in Chingola to benefit from SCT. And right next to it, it says go beyond environmental compliance, is a story that you might be interested in as well. But there is an inside analysis which is on page 6, defining day for every Zambian worker child. And the facial picture that you're seeing there is obviously of is Mlambo Jaime. Yeah, you might be interested in getting to read that particular one. On inspiration or not, when I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around. Count them one by one. This one is coming through from Willie Nelson. That's how the Zambia Daily Mail looks like this morning.
Willie Nelson is a musician, if I'm not mistaken. Count your blessings.
One by one.
Yeah. I mean, you can check out Bishop Plabia Malenga. He has very nice sermons. But moving on to the news diggers, the main headline leads with 5 bills pass as HH signs free education pension laws today. And then on top in blue in the box, it says Concord set to hear petition challenging HH's nomination. So you can find more of that story on page 2. And then next to the picture of Mr. Brian Mundubile, there's a headline in green which says, people have high hopes for our alliance. It must work. And that's according to Brian Mundubile. And then Sean Tembo dumps his party to stand as independent Roma MP. On the other side, in pink, Haluba reacted in anger over Gary's decision to go independent. And that's according to Mr. Liswaniso. So you can find more of that story on page 10 of the Newsdiggers this morning. Otherwise, those are the headlines making the front page of this newspaper. Remember, send us a text message on the number, which is 0979 958 392. Or alternatively, go to our Facebook page. We are live as Crown TV Zambia, where you can wish the president a happy birthday. Already, we've been receiving some messages. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yes, indeed. And just like Dash has mentioned, you can get to send the president a birthday message. And also remember that if you are a June baby today, if you are going into town or you're going to be commuting from town to various spots around Lusaka, Kulima Tower is actually getting to give free rides to June babies and the elderly people as well. So if you are born in June, just go with your NRC.
Just today?
Yeah, today. Today because it's the president's birthday.
Oh, shame.
Yeah,
because my brother's birthday is like later.
Tomorrow.
No. Last week, injury week of the month.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So that's how it looks like. Those of you that are June babies, you can go to Kulima Tower and you're going to be enjoying these free rides, courtesy of you just being born in June, and also courtesy of the fact that it is the president's birthday. You are a special one, really. A special one.
It's sorry, Mike, but it's something that I think we should appreciate the Lima Tower bus drivers because I think that it's not the first time that we have seen that they are offering free rides for a certain occasion. Today, they are celebrating people that were born in June because of course, the Republican president celebrating his birthday. So we have seen sometimes that even I remember, was that last year on the Nurses' Day, all the nurses were enjoying a free ride from Kulima Tower. I think that this initiative has been happening for a while. And today, considering the president's birthday, they have extended, instead of just celebrating him alone, they have extended it to celebrating with everyone else who was born in June, which I think that it's a very, very good initiative.
It is.
By the bus drivers. So those of you that are watching us and they've not yet started off from home and will somehow pass through Kulima Tower, I think that should remember to get their NRCs or their birth certificates if they're below the age of 16 and they don't have their NRCs but they're going to school. I think that they can get themselves a free ride from Kulima Tower to wherever they are going. It's such a great gesture, I think, to appreciate the president.
And also, it's the fact that, again, you were interrupted. It's the fact that, majority of the people have been complaining that the prices of bus fares haven't really dropped from that time. So today is your opportunity, whether you're traveling from town to Silver Rest, or maybe you're going to Charleston, or even, I was about to say Mazabuka, but no, Chongwe, if you're going to Chongwe as well. It's a good initiative. Going from Kulima Towers.
Whatever is in Mazabuka that wanted you to mention it.
No, I was talking to someone about a trip.
But also, I wanted to mention that the Kulima Tower bus station should be commended for the great work that they're doing. Recently, they did actually, roll out a giveaway campaign to conductors where they're actually getting to give hygienic commodities in terms of roll-ons, perfume,
toothbrushes,
toothpaste. And do you know that this is so much important to us, the passengers, than it is to the drivers? I wanted to pick your mind with this particular one.
Sometimes
like yesterday night, I got on a bus. Let me tell you, I'm confessing in front of the nation. I got on a bus yesterday. I didn't like the way I was seated.
You're on the edge.
I was like on the last seat, kakudo side, and then the conductor was just right in my face.
Which side was it in your face?
In my face.
Was it the arm? The back?
Trust me, I didn't like it. But I don't know what your experience is.
Well, I think that conductors and drivers alike also should feel that they are reporting for work.
Exactly.
I know they start their days early, just like we do, and they end their days a little bit late. And I think that they also need to prepare themselves as they go for work. And they deal with a lot of people. They deal with a lot of customers. But let's get to have a look at this particular video. We'll be getting back shortly.
As a way of promoting good hygiene among bus conductors in Kulima Tower bus station, management has come up with a program of distributing bathing soaps, toothpaste and toothbrushes to the conductors. Kulima Tower bus station chairperson Nicholas Banda says this program is meant to empower all the conductors in the market facility. Mr. Banda says this is a way of promoting good hygiene and also responding to concerns raised by different passengers.
As a conductor, ufunika uchoka kwa nyumba, uli clean, ufunika wa brushing meno yako, so at least uumve kache fresh panopela kunshito.
Conductor Africa kuoneka first smart conductor Africa asamba conductor Africa anunkirako because kumanka sometimes conductor imili ambasi pesi katika jakasenti kama stamunga kasako disturb wantu
hapa kwa tinafi tuwafundisha sana pali no nshitapa so far na turamonga ko kirini kuwasha coding kusukusamukanwa kufunya ko munani kano mwelo usumako awe fena fire tuwafuisha kwa pantanshu kwa
nitako invite ma conductor wanzatu kuti tifunika uoneka che as a conductor ufunika che wavala che mshemushe waone kuti ndio conductor kufulamira abantu kulibe ndela muno yetili nayo kuno kulima.
Meanwhile, Mr. Banda says in celebrating President Hakainde Hichilema's birthday, prices in Kulima Tower bus station on the 4th of June are going to be slashed.
President Hakainde Hichilema akwanisa 64 years now. So wajamana 60 years and above azonche wakwela Mulima Tower ni free transport ufunika kulipira.
For Crown TV News, Tawanda Munyuki.
Thank you very much, Tawanda, for that particular story. And that's the story that spoke about giving the conductors toothbrushes and toothpaste and stuff like that. But as I was saying, before we went to that particular story, even them, when they're going for work, should, I think, prepare themselves for the day. Because they deal with a lot of people. And of course, it's the way our transport system is that we are confined in a minibus, and they take 4 people on a seat that I think that should
Others
take
5.
3. Sometimes you are taught to sit 5. So in that particular, you have a lot of people in a Heist minibus. I think that everybody should freshen up, so that, and especially if you are the one operating with that particular vehicle, you should be in a position to be fresh and ensure that you look smart. Look, when the MMD brought up the uniform for bus drivers, there was a lot of complaints to say you will be putting on blue shirts and blue trousers. I'm not very good with colors, but the shirt should have been sky blue, and then the trousers dark navy blue.
Is it navy?
Yeah. And so there was a lot of talk about it. Even the buses, when they were painted that color, there was a lot of talk about it, because that looked more like the MMD colors. But anyways, fast forward, I think that drivers look smart when they are putting on those particular uniforms, and I think that it's difficult not to wash that shirt because of its color. It will show that you are not clean.
Exactly.
And then unfortunately, sometimes you find that a driver, they put those clothes under their seat. When they see police, that's when they begin to
pick them up.
And
And I'm always wondering why that is, though.
You just find such kind of people wherever you go who do not want to abide by the laws. But I think that it is important, and I think that the Kulima Tower leadership is doing the best they can to ensure that the people that are using transport from Kulima Tower are comfortable and safe. As you said, the way you were sitting yesterday, going home, it's not a very good thing.
It's not supposed to be.
And I think that we must, it's an appeal now to the Lima Tower leadership. They should look into the fact that even the conductor must sit now. So you carry a number of people that will allow you also to have a seat, even if you are leaving Kulima Tower. I've noticed that when you are leaving the station, always the conductor should be standing up. And you are lucky that there was only one conductor. There are times when
you have even 3.
Double team.
Yeah, they are all squeezed.
One collects, the other one goes for
So, especially big buses. You have quite a number of conductors. You wonder, a lot of people standing by the door, and you're wondering, what if there's an emergency and we need to leave this bus quickly? So I think that conductors must also, I don't know if the Lima Tower leadership could look into having them sit as well. So you carry a specific number that will also allow you have a seat on the bus, so that nobody is standing up, and everybody is comfortable on the bus. It will really help. And I think that Kulima Tower has showers, if I'm not mistaken. I've never used their gents there, but if they have showers also, if maybe conductors come in the morning and they did not have enough time to take a shower at home, as you're waiting for your bus to load, I think that they can make use
freshen up.
I think that it is just a good thing to have fresh air on the bus.
But it actually even helps you.
And the other thing is that there is this kind of a bus. I think it's a quantum. It doesn't have enough windows. I think it only has one window on the conductor's side and a very small one on the other side, and then the rest of the bus does not have enough window for windows.
And it's not nice during October. You'll be in the corner and then you're like...
So I think that it is very important that conductors are in that.
I am always very strategic when I'm getting on a bus.
Same.
If I'm not in the front seat, then I'll wait outside for it, like to
meet in friends in the corner.
So
because if you buy the door, you have to
I
get
think
out
that is the reason why I found myself where I was seated yesterday or last night rather, because now this is it was a lot of space, right? So I was waiting. So I went to check. It was just this little space that was left. Which was, according to me, logically, that was supposed to be the conductor's seat. You get right. So I took it up. and then I had to endure.
The suffering, you had to pay for it.
It was a very beautiful ride, trust me.
But I'm also quite interested with the plus size people as well, because they've been receiving a lot of stick for perhaps sitting on, like taking up 2 seats and then having to pay double the amount. So at least them who are celebrating their birthdays or, have their birthdays in June and they board on a bus, they're not going to be scrutinized to say, hey, you have to pay. And like, here's my NRC. I'm a June baby. So at least they can get away with it.
Yeah.
Interesting enough, that's what we're getting to look at right here on the Royal Breakfast Show. We are just from getting to look into the various newspapers, but also just getting to highlight on the fact that Kulima Tower Bus Station is getting to provide free bus rides to June babies as well as those that are elderly people. This is courtesy of the Republican president's birthday today, the 4th of June. So yeah, just go to town with your NRC. You might actually get to land yourself that particular free ride. Now, over the last few weeks, the political chessboard has experienced unprecedented rapid shifts. We have witnessed a sudden wave of withdrawals by parliamentary and independent candidates across key battleground provinces. Simultaneously, several prominent opposition leaders have abandoned their presidential ambitions to openly endorse incumbent President Hakainde Hichilema, Sarkozy as well as Ndashi. Is this genuine realignment or political cowardice?
Firstly, as I said that that was what was on my mind this morning. I was surprised to see the people that have endorsed President Hakainde Hichilema for the 2026 general election. Firstly, I want to start with Pastor Peter Chanda, whose party was actually identified as the special purpose vehicle at one point by the opposition. And also remember that Pastor Chanda was close to former President late Edgar Chagwa Lungu, and I didn't really see him endorsing President Hakainde Hichilema at the end of the day. But you could see somehow when the confusion started, he said he had taken a backseat. You could see somehow that he was not in agreement with what was happening in those alliances then. Was that Tonse then?
Exactly.
You could see that he was not in agreement with what was happening. And I think that he has taken time to look at what is happening, who's standing, and of course they all use a statement after consultations and the scrutiny of who's standing and everything. And he decided to make that decision to endorse President Hakainde Hichilema. I did not also expect UPPZ leader, Mr. Chanda, to endorse President Hakainde Hichilema, because just a few days ago, when he failed to file in at the Mulungushi International Conference Center, you did hear how he came out speaking and how he assured the nation that this Mingarato will not work. But a few days later, I think that was a day later, he came back and apologized. And that's not a way I should have come out as a leader. And I think he showed a lot of maturity for me at that particular time. And of course, he went and sat and looked at the options, because he, in his ranting on that day, said, we have numbers and we know where we're going to take these numbers. So I'm sure that he went and sat down and looked at where he could take his numbers. And he decided that it is only President Hakainde Hichilema that can give these numbers. And yesterday he came and endorsed President Hakainde Hichilema and said he was going to rally behind him. And now you see, you would wonder why people are endorsing President Hakainde Hichilema. But I will tell you one thing, that the UPND, under the leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema, boasts of a lot of development that they have delivered in the past 5 years. Talk of the education sector. We are now talking about the bill. One of the bills that will be signed today is the education bill.
Free education.
Yes, and now they want to put it into law. After a long time, we had not seen free education in this country, and how many pupils have gone back to school because of free education. So I think that they boast of that as one of their achievements. They boast of a CDF from 1.6 million in 2021 to about 40 million now as we speak. So that is another achievement that the UPND speaks about. They also boast of the debt restructuring, which of course was commonly referred to as a huge python that is wrapped around the neck, and we had to find space to breathe. And there was debt restructuring, and the mining sector as well. There's a lot that has been done with the UPND earlier claiming that the sector was on its knees, and now there's a lot of activity on the copper belt. Kalengwa, which was closed for quite a long time, or reopened. We did see the dewatering of Shaft 28, also in Luansha, and of course the other mining activities that are taking place in Solwezi and on the copper belt. So that sector also has been revamped. The agriculture sector, also we are seeing now that the country is talking about the historical bumper harvest that is expected. And of course, I saw something interesting in the papers where Honorable Mundubire says that he was going to improve the agro sector. That is very, very impressive. And I think that this is the campaign that the political parties should be telling us. Things like how they will improve the sector, the agriculture sector. And that is what we saw in the Daily Nation newspaper, Honorable Mundubire say, which is a good thing. The UPND government will also boast of what they have done in the energy sector, where we see a lot of solar projects around the country, I beg your pardon, and also they will also tell you about the number of people that have employed, how many teachers the UPND government has employed, unprecedented numbers.
Health workers.
The UPND has employed unprecedented numbers. And remember that we are coming from the background of employment freeze. We are coming from a background of a wage freeze, where there were no salary increments in the previous regimes. And then this begins to happen, and that is what the UPND is boasting of, and that is why probably maybe these leaders feel that this is the only candidate that can go into the 2026 August 13 elections.
There was an interesting line that he used yesterday when he was addressing the media, Pastor Peter Chanda, and that was, if you can't beat them, join them. And that's basically the mentality that majority of these parties are sort of going in with, because we saw how the opposition was sort of in turmoil. As you mentioned, the NCP sort of, stepped away a little bit because they didn't know how this was all going to pan out. And as you've been seeing the way the UPND has been conducting themselves, they haven't really been coming forth to say that this is what we're going to be offering, this is what we're going to be offering, because way back in 2021, they had already set the addendum and they made it very clear as to what they wanted to achieve within those 5 years. And we've seen that they've already achieved majority of the pointers that they had put. The agriculture sector has improved after quite some time. Yes, there were some blips here by the farmers. They didn't receive their payments, but eventually they got paid. The mining sector has improved significantly. There's some mining shafts that have been reopened that have been dormant for quite some time. There's a health sector as well. We know that there was the database recently where most of the nurses had actually been employed, and we know that the nurses are some of the people that sort of go through a lot whenever they go to school, and then they sort of go jobless for quite some time. The education sector, which is very pivotal for young minds, he really spoke about how young people are very vital for the future of this nation, because they are the future, and if you don't feed them, then that's the turmoil that's already, sort of showing. But we also saw how Mr. Robert Shibinga was one of the other people who endorsed him. And we just seen how majority of these political parties and independents are sort of coming on the fold of the UPND, joining the alliance and just joining the movement, because they can clearly see what has been done in the past 5 years, as opposed to the usual jabs that are being hit at them to say that, there's the rising cost of living, the food basket has gone up. But it's because they inherited something that they needed to fix. But otherwise, this could be some of the reasons why they sort of turn into the UPND and why they trusted in them so much in this manner.
I was going to point out to, Honorable Chavinga as well, as being one of those people that have been very vocal to say you can't fix what's not broken. And that is why, obviously, this aligns with what you mentioned, what Pastor Peter Chanda mentioned, that if you can't beat them, join them. Because obviously, if you don't see anything wrong, why not just, work together collectively and just see to it that Zambians are given what they deserve. But also, we do see that, Mr. Charles Chanda promises to bring across with him 3 million Zambians who do not own plots or have proper toilets to the UPND alliance as he gets to sign that. These are issues that other people on the sidelines of life are going to be, complaining about, regardless of how everything else is going so very smoothly. Macroeconomic, scores that we're getting to score as a country. Others will complain of things not being well on the ground, but ground even the high cost of living, definitely. But also, away from that, democratically, when choices vanish from the ballot paper before a single vote is cast, there's a little bit of public confidence that naturally shakes. What does this now entail in the way that we are supposed to look and take care of the health of our democracy going forward as we head?
Firstly, you must note that the opposition has always spoken about how the democracy of this country has deteriorated under the UPND. And of course, now that the several other candidates have decided to endorse the UPND, for me, I think that it gives it gives the opposition an opportunity, because not everybody who is under the UPPZ agrees with the president, so they will have to share those votes as well. For me, I think that it gives we cannot. Well, it's possible democratically. But I think that it's good to have fewer people on the ballot, so that maybe the voters do not have so much to do when they go in that ballot box. They just go and find 3-4 faces on the ballot, and you just tick your preferred candidate, as opposed to going through the long list of
trying
candidates,
trying
to identify your candidate.
Because
but it's democracy. It's democracy. You need those numbers, but there's nothing that you can do if candidates decide to pull out. And this should not be blamed on the ruling party, because the ruling party is just there and also competing in this particular election. And as Ndashi has identified a statement from Pastor Peter Chanda, which says if you can't beat them, join them. That is how they feel as the opposition. So I don't think there's anything. It's their democratic right. So that is also part of democracy. So I don't think that there's anything democratically wrong for candidates to pull out and endorse other candidates. For me, it's democracy. It shows that we have a healthy democracy in this country. Nobody is gagging those that have decided to withdraw and support others. And even at parliamentary level, we did see, just yesterday I was seeing a story where my good elder brother, Steve Kiso Wamuyowa, was just withdrawing in Senanga as a parliamentary candidate. He has the rights. He has the right to stand in the first place. Secondly, he has the right to withdraw. So that's democracy to me. So I feel that all these candidates that are deciding to withdraw from the race, nobody should be blamed. And I thank God that the Constitution was changed. Now you don't have to restart the whole entire process because one person has withdrawn. So I think that this is democracy. It shows that democracy, we have a healthy democracy in the country. But the opposition will not agree with you. And they will tell you that our democracy has really deteriorated. And sometimes it makes you wonder when they say that the democracy has deteriorated. What yardsticks are being used?
They call it imingalato, and this is the most common used word. Obviously, this is one word that we're going to be remembering after the 2026 general elections. They call it imingalato, according to the opposition themselves. So in a situation where obviously I do understand that democracy is where people are free to participate, people are free. This is where you're getting to choose leaders, the leadership of people, for the people, by the people. And what has been the notion is that in a democratic state, there is a lot of participants in these elections, so to speak. But when you're getting to see about over 15 parliamentary candidates, most of them independent, others, aligned to these particular political parties, withdrawing. And now, leaders that were vying for presidency, that were caught on camera and quoted, speaking or noting, or rather, getting to say, now endorsing. Is it even Galato now? People.
There's a personal question that we also asking.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting. If this really is the ultimate birthday
are these
dominance.
Genuine endorsements?
No, but I mean, like, it could be the ultimate gift to the president. Having the fact that this happened right before his birthday. Could this be them gifting him something that
going to pay for 100,000 kwacha nomination fee? And later on just getting to withdraw?
If you don't qualify, then you don't qualify. If you also see the prospects before you and the time span that you have in order to win the hearts of the Zambians, of course you would withdraw.
0979-958392. That is the number that you are using to get in touch with us on. This is the Royal Breakfast Show, Thursday edition of it on Crown Television. You can get to send us a text message as we are waiting to be receiving your phone calls later on the very number. And you can also go to our Facebook and write us a comment. We're going to be reading it out. But for now, let's get into a few calls before we get into the text messages. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Mikey.
Yeah, good morning. Ni Wabanda.
Kwa waina tu. Nakuwa kama chips uteteselo kutolo kutumia kuna
Mwatina ma chips ya banda.
Jani, wako Ndashi mwaina maningi Ndashi mkutia jani.
It's Mike, he's giving me his chips.
Okay. Ona lebo wanga.
Yo, abanda mwauka.
Na yuma ona lebo, mwauka bwino ona lebo.
Tauka bwino kama mwauka bwanji.
Mwana bwino zikomo kwambiri.
Zikomo kwambiri.
Onani mama media ufunika abantu mzwa olongolela kuno kwino. Bandu ambiri bajumbira mvipani uyopo mangiwa. Wayona? Wala kumirandu ndiye mene majumbira mvipani. Bade bandu mokone sama lingi pa ground. People ya safari. Wala ni mbeu, soybean, fuaka. Wote hivyo vingendi vike pamoja. Because wandu wavutika bwanji. Because people wandu ambiri maningi ufaka ilipa down. Soybeans ilipa down. Miri ilipa down. Ayo. Muzikita focus pa bantu. Because mizu munkalamba zuoneka bwanji. Kairo mumtauni wandaru kakubwi. Maja bulani muzi mkaone sasa grobu inaona leo. Yebele mkaone ndo antana mavuto. Muli mufu kwa mtama ningi consider because apila ndama pachaka kamozi. So ngati muli mapila ndama pachaka pamozi. Muli tani consider maningi kumpasa ko business ya bwino. Kwa sakili yako business ndio so business sigura. Zizakusagilani mabaya zimbise. Ayo. What is there in Kanizandara? Ya chanda join kipande cha UPND. Hata Wachanda weze wana imirira. Ukoti zijandarano arabagwezera. Kana bagwezera hasa no. So ufunika kuona. Hapa sipo napo na boza hapa yai. Wandu taimilia hapa Kenya. Wako uvini wa join kipande hicho kidebwanja. Wandu taimilia hapa Kenya because wandu background sivili bwino bwino.
Ziko mabanda.
Thank you, Mr. Banda.
Is it the Secretary General of the Royal Breakfast Show, Mr. Kamasongo Kamaya? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you, Sunny. How are you?
We are very fine, thank you. How is Mamba this morning?
Mamba is very cool here. Actually, I arrived yesterday around 23 hours from Lusaka, although I didn't see you. I was a bit, my schedule was very busy.
No, there's always a next time. But just kindly advise Uncle Kozi that he needs to be putting on long shirts because it's cold in Lusaka.
One time I'll pay you a visit to see my daughter and my beloved brother, Mr. Makokwa.
You see, Papa Kamasongo, unlike Mike, us, we actually see you as our father. He says Mr. I don't know why.
No, because we're trying to, maintain official decorum.
No. This is decorum.
No, there's no nepotism here.
You can go ahead.
My son, Warren in Libuyu. Happy birthday.
Thanks on his behalf.
And the management of Kulima Tower bus station for the offers which they normally give us. Last, if not the least, I just wanted to congratulate Mr. Chanda for joining and supporting HH. That is the democracy. And there is nobody who is going to say that Mr. Chanda has been forced. No, it's his own will to support the incumbent president because he has seen what the incumbent president is doing. But otherwise, kuno kumamba pa ground palichape bwino. Good day and have a lovely working day, my son, my daughter, and my brother.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Have a lovely day as well. 0979958392. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, your name, sir, and where you calling us from?
Thank you. This is Mr. Shepherd from Ndola.
Your name again?
Mr. Shepherd from Ndola.
Mr. Shepherd, go ahead and give us your thoughts.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Chanda. That is his democratic right. Yes. You know, one thing that surprised me about politicians, right? Mtungaya kunyavo, it is democratic right. But in the it becomes an issue. So, and when we look at the UPND policies, they are very attractive too. A lot of people have been attracted. So that's why they rush and go there. Looking at the way the government has done, thinking that if we help them to push more, I think many Zambians can benefit. Now to the opposition, they just need to remain strong and give proper checks and balances to give hope to the Zambians. That can be better. Otherwise, the democracy in Zambia is there. There's no threat. Each of you for kuikadira mkutoba mafunde. Any fundenga ya kuikata, elo number one kurira democracy. Live within the law. When you live within the law, you will find that democracy is there. There are so many opposition parties. Like what happened Gavina They live within the law.
Thank you so much.
There you will find that the democracy is there. If you are
Dr. Shepherd, we accommodate other callers. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Hello, Mr. Mumba.
Mr. Mumba, how are you doing today?
I'm fine.
Are you fine, Mr. Mumba? Because you're sounding so very low. Kindly speak up.
From Chaisa.
Are you able to speak up?
All right. Which speak I will join is it change. Kuna change kwa sira wadifuna tuwache paka chabe teni tavutika tima chama pize tenda jotole kushtika wazifura paka waende wakaende kwa sira wadifuna tende uvotia sema ende uvota patapalende uvota paka aende kwa sira ende uvota funa paka aende aende silufu unapo uvuna hapo hapo Wama uvuto hapa sikula kamba tufuri nizungati mabuka ntigona manjala ya wagona wanda.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for expressing your comment and your views on this particular matter. We have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Mike, good morning, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Ali Kindimwe.
Wakabwino.
Tauka ka ku ipenduke ni kulibwanju huko kumao.
Kuna kulibwino. Mike. ine lesopu abantu vamene akamba kuti no Pastor Peter Chanda vaenda na grupu yawo chifukwa siniona maprovinsi kuti no vapresident vachita indozi uyu maprovinsi sivaona vantu vavo kuti no maybe vaunzikiwa vantu kamba tinotachita indozi uyu ulibe maprovinsi kambani kujoina kwabanje chifukwa first walungati president asika address kuti no tizathandizira uyu ichi province fanika vantu vake vaunjikana valumvelerera zonadi navena kuja titoona kuti ukuntu zonadi province yakuti vantu lupu yachita indozona uyu nobani veka chati mapresident yavo that's why nende pali wali yanga kuti ufanika vazienda genuine osaenda veka iyayi because situation vanenionera kana msogolo kwamene tulienda Mike ife mazambian mwaiona dola ili 17 koma vintu sivichipa ndiye pali wali ya vantu pamene apa kuti government yamene kwanele kutipereka niku dollar it is true dollar 17 koma vintu sivichipa why so ni pembo yanga kuti pamene valuchita izi vafaniko yangana kuti nga dola ikugwa na vintu vivichipa noti dola ikugwa vintu vidula dola ikugwa vintu vidula mungu azakamba chani last please iyi ni democracy tiona mafoni muta ano matraki ya gwiriwa ya makatumbi ya opposition why maligalia why ni kuwapasa ngati nuluza valuze ngati wina vawine ligalia si winisa muntu ligalia si luzisa muntu chimankhala mu mtima mwake vote ili mu mtima mwake muntu so make sure kenti zichita vintu clear please wa Mike zikoma kwambiri.
Thank you so much, Mr. Alik. We really appreciate your contribution. Good morning.
Good morning, my friends. How are you?
We are good, thanks you. How are you?
I'm good. You have a lot of work, journalists, because you are the persons behind the microphone to at least to give some civic education to people. With regard to Mr. Chanda Charles joining UPND, you know, this is one of the politicians I've respected in Zambia. I think he has been on the scene for some time. But have you ever heard him picking things which are rubbish other than that build? And he has reached almost all the rural areas. It's not like these township politicians who just ring around in Lusaka and on the Copper Belt. He has been even to the furthest places of Mangango and he done something there for the community. This is Chanda. So I think for him to realize that he needed to support President Hakainde Hichilema, I think he knows what he means. People say, no, he needs to go with the people. Today you can lure people to defect with you. But will you be there in the box when they are going to vote? That they are going to vote for a decision. It's a pit. Sometimes I just laugh and feel for my friends. People talking about the hunger. Me, I stay in Kalavo. And by the way, for your information, I get a salary. But I decided to cultivate a piece of land back home in Kaoma. And according to my mother, what he tells me that this time I want to buy food. But someone is just in the village waiting for handouts. You don't want to cultivate. Who do want to feed you? If he workers, some people are in Lusaka there, but they have farms. In Ziti, Maos, whatever, they have farms. Rich people, when you look at the President Hakainde Hichilema, he has a farm in Kalomo, but he's in Lusaka. Most of these combos, all these people you see, they don't rely on the political money. They cultivate as though they have animals. My friend here, Namanda, as the animals as what? Why don't we emulate such a people? I'm happy with the people of Northern Province.
Thank you so much, Mr. Monge.
You want all of us to be farmers. But
Thank
today
you.
they are farming and they are producing a lot of maize in Northern
0979-958392 is the number that you're using. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, your name and where are you calling us from?
Yes, sir. I am William Kavaso Chafuila, senior citizen calling from Kinsali.
Please go ahead and give us your thoughts.
Thank you so much, sir. I just want to talk about Charles Chanda losing President HH and UPND government. That's a welcome move. People who have seen how HH and its government has worked, they can't even campaign against him because they have seen what he has done. nabomba omuntu muri 5 years nabomba. It's only sometimes jealousy that we have, especially in the former strongholds of LBPF. That's where we have problems. If people who are educated like Chanda, na Sevia Tishimba, they have realized we can't campaign against it. What message? If you talk about energy, he has already started improving energy system in our country. Talk about agriculture. We had the bump harvest last year. Even this year we have bump harvest. And you can't have bump harvest without government input. You look at education. All the sectors, just in 4 years. We welcome Mr. Chanda. Chanda, you are welcome.
Thank you so much.
Let them continue. Otherwise, we are supporting and we are voting for HH.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your contribution. Mr. Mlonda, good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
How is Ndola this morning?
Ndola is okay, very okay. It's already sunny this time.
Interesting. I've got Mr. Kozi as well as Ndashi in studio. Would you love to pass your greetings as well?
Oh, yes. Sure. Sorry, I've just tuned in and I just saw you. Good morning to the panel there.
Good morning, Mr. Malonda.
Mr. Malonda, is there ever winter in Ndola? I wonder. It's never cold there.
Oh yeah, it's always all weather.
Yeah.
Thank you. I hear people saying, no, we are now suffering. It's now worse than it was in the previous governance or regime. I wonder, in which area? Like anybody 12 abantu nomba barechula ukuchira for barechula before 2021, between 2011 and 2021. In which area? Pantu economy number is picking up. In better hands now than it was. That violence by UPND violence. It was very worse. Violence in the number within themselves, the family. And there is a cause. More PF takwadi cause kukuma fetu now for the white nango we are suspected which I already saw. We are suspected to be what on the other side. They were just beating anyhow. Could say now could tashani kuipaya. But this time I have a fear because of certain reasons. In Congole, it was worse. Even the living itself over there at prices whatever. This time that the kwacha number ya picking. Oh, ichirefu ikofi ati mitengo shiwele in investment bafule abale pange fintu abale chitashani if mkifyala wela. This is already an arrangement for things for a better living. So you we are now West. It's a fallacy. They don't understand how the economy works, because we are now headed for a better economy. Because there are a lot of work, employment from the time okay, thank you. From the time UPND came into power, therefore the increments. Okay, thank you.
That is the number that you're using to get in touch with us on. Remember that you are allowed to express your views in the shortest period of time, as we are allowed by that to accommodate as many callers as possible. Yeah. Hello, good morning.
Arrivo. Good morning, Mr. Moderator.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Fantastic, my brother. God bless you to receive 95%. The people of Ropra spokesperson Kapambwa, I'm calling from here, the capital city of Lusaka.
Kapambwa. What a powerful one. Got a 98% for that introduction. Please go ahead and give us your thoughts.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
If you are UPND, watch the promise of Zambian. If you are Kulanda, CDF Wadimunda, Defiali ukulaya amazambiani babavotere pali cost of living eto bawini n'emitima y'abeena Zambia balandiri ati bunga mulesta 120 nabudula 120 ifeyo mulesta ya 17 kwacha naidula ife driver mulesta 650 naidula simple not you kuyo muno ipusheni pali bikana ma figures eyo balebo beno kwisasha poivintu so amazamia balina poverty ya ile balesta obunga 120 nombo we muntu ulesenza kuti wayatasha n'ababomba fishi wabombe CDF bayisangire zote implement from the UPND bayisangire fi nsheko yaba social cash transfer bayisangire fi and then this government bali kongora 14 billion in 4 years which any capital infrastructure iwa UPND babomba nani walalanda pa infrastructure wala sonda kono ni komboni ji kwete infrastructure ya panga UPND tekwa bangu in 4 years but PF borrow 14 billion tuli money fin tuli money katsaini kubantu kutrebe fyadi ndipo kumya kupambula ndo employment mulanda it's very deep sorrow izo abantu bamobasambira tabishi
twatotera mkwai
in conclusion kanabe ukushita employee takwashupa na poti kuti wana lainchi abantu abali 50 that's why amalaiti vilaba masaka balira ndamalaiti balasaisha kuzi ukushita employee don't ukushita employee abantu through ignorance wala shita employee then wala shita poverty wala shita poverty kubantu yala shita increase kozi eko kala funye mpyata ukwedi that's why awa UPND kula shita employee abantu brandiri nishala muneko kuteba kama laiti yakaya pokuti wale pangama salaries taxpayers money taidi kwana ukuti yabade fondisha abantu thank you very much abade yo muntu wale ya lekeni uturuisi
hello good morning
hello
yes good morning
morning my name is George. Yeah, Makokwa. And the panel on Amiposh.
Thank you very much.
Inga igeti no through Jalari Panariwana from Lusaka to Copper Belt. So abantu tapali efe wakatasha hapo. Namwishiwa kutuwa yupa n'abana panganda. Ulefura n'okuchita efe winga bombera panganda pamwe but yaresa mkuseka HH ale ruling a country wo Zambia but iwe panganda refura kufunga abana bobe n'abakashibobe nefunde tapaga findu wafuire bamupera kokubo kwati apa kwena nabomba noto wafura kufunga mukashibobe atyo HH afirwa yo datotera
Totera Mkwai, thank you so much for keeping it short and sweet. We do have another call on the line. Good morning.
Yes, hello?
Yes, good morning.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, I'm calling from Rapula.
And your name is?
My name is Kapota James.
James who?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, tulemu mpatiba James nani?
Kapota, wait. Let me put you on a
That can only come from a Bemba man, obviously. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Nixon Mayambu. I'm calling you from Mamba, home of Co.
That's what we are talking about. Go ahead and give us your thoughts. At least we have got another one from Mamba where our daddy comes from.
Yeah, so wakabereka taiti hose takabereka so kupache chimutaga chisaba tubereke kumba so noti kuti hose tairika voto himwe wakajata at least wakatonta muri free education yakarivo then wakakwanisa kuchita so twarumba maningi Makokwa kubereka voto
twarumba kapati Lezarege. 0979958392 is the number that you're using to get in touch with us on. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. The panel there, please.
Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, thank you so much.
Your name and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, this is the young politician calling you from Mongu, Western Province.
Young politician, go ahead and give us your thoughts.
What's the young politician's name?
Say?
What is the young politician's name?
The young politician's name is just going maybe to just greet you in all the 7 languages of Zambia. Maybe that's what I'm going to describe my name. I don't know if you see that one you are Mr. Makokwa.
Sangu.
Yes, I'm going to start with say mudi ngayo on say eji maoko munyirunga in North Western Province mudi veti mwane munayoyo mwayanga ngachili alishani mukwa ivonse abakulira ku Northern Province kasama mporokoso luwingu na konseko na fika ko mukwa naliko taxi driver omakata huri baba muri chete baba wose bakuna nkonde isoka muzuhire cyane bana bamalozi nyina batereza kwanu uri kwa kastima ko kwa mongo yuna bana bamalozi
shangwe
kwa kabwanji mwafrika huri mwafrika makola bakulite Mabukabuti, thank you so much, Mabukabuti and people from Southern Province. My talking is now on the issue of the newspapers. I'm going through the front page of the newspapers. I was just greeting you to show you that at least we have the love and the heart of Zambia. I've been there for 3 years. Now, so what is just there is let us just be realistic. Yes, the big man is working. I've heard the government to say when you fail to maybe to keep your wife at your home, then you say HH has failed you. No, you're not told your wife.
You have 30 seconds.
We love you. Not even say man, you condemn it. But it's not doing it to that much. They are not employing us, especially as we are vulnerable. Me, for sure, Mr. Makokwa the panel. I don't have a mother, I don't have a woman, I don't have Ndashi, I don't have a real sister. I was born alone. I was just told to say your mother died in 2001, and I've kept that house in Senanga. No one doesn't know me in Senanga. I think I can even be better than the MPs that are contesting. I've known Senanga, been the head boy at Namalango Basic School from 2003 when I was in grade 9. So I got to realize this.
But just give me the last comment, please. 0979958392. Remember that you have got limited time to express your thoughts and your views. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mwashubuken from Kwai.
Mkwai, Mwashubukeni.
Wabukati wino twatotera mustudio mutakusha kuna bosabale umfwa. Lava so Mkwai. This is Aunt Catherine Chipata over Steve Saka.
Twatotera Mkwai Aunt Catherine konkanye ni
Mkwai. That's all plan na kokuli bachanda. Bachanda ba join na UPND alliance. Out at Patiri. Mrani bachanda for Batiria. Patricia Victoria na kwa React. Nomination day ya baba baishe bachaide ni ngalato. Pia isho batu wewe na mabilioni over kwata. But in my bankrupt. Ni kwata 5 billion mwaka offshore. Ni offshore. Accounting. Munde bata bankrupt. Kisha chiko bushikubwerero. Balanda tinala support echi. Yo akwata mabilioni na offshore. Tulenchi ula kwema Zambians. Babu lenda na mababika mufyalo. Vera tuweba chiyo mwasuru okusunga abakashi. Ero mule ilishanya. Economy. Wakule babombera kubushenga na mutawi. Na wera mose no shapuna ngukamu. Abakashi bandi balaisanish. Takwabo waikalashi. Endi ba UPND teba tsambirisho kubomba. Teba tsambirisho kulima. Toki wachikama business. Lero yaliwa. Also being business. Vali onaula. Economy hapa mapepa. Sio tuwalaja ifwe. Mwamona, mwema ni mfukijomu. Pera tushauta, bada tuondole la tofu bade tupromisa. Ubu teko nga kukoka na bufiru. Eno democracy, election kinga, source by source. Mwone nyama kande, kwa lea na tiye baka chika 20 bade aswale bali reduced. Bale nga la shon tembo, ati yoli change. Yoli sani, kutenya la competition. Uko kuwa mulelo wa mchipani mwenu. Ifo muli mazambia, si mwana pangana, ni kwa to mwana. Na ikata na umana ikata. Mute kubwa ala isati waipa umwana umu. Vela ando kwa kibarelu wa beka na beka.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Natotela Saba. Thank you so much.
That's Auntie Catherine there. We do have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. So kindly reduce the volume of the TV set. That's the golden rule of television. If you're going to be calling us, yes, that's the rule that applies. Reduce the volume on the TV set. Hello, good morning.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, I'm back again. I'm calling from Luapula.
Hello?
Please go ahead. You've got 30
Go ahead.
seconds.
You've got 30 seconds.
Okay. Ndifana ndekwefi kwena kufya vachanda avo vaisa muntu wese ari kwapensa mbu iya kusala echipani chale private yanomba fiti vachitiri ati ngesafuma mukulanda po vakola vamayefu nomba ndapo kulanda kuli developmental issue iyo va UPND vengalandira po ati yo galavomba ngatwalolesha number 1 fiship wavaileteni va mwana wasa tetivalanda tini continuity fetu aisa mukulunda po. Number 2, Ria, ivarera ndapatiyo na tupanga malaiti na shani sharia. Ria ya chitire introduce na la PF. Social cash transfer na yena ni va PF.
You have 10 seconds.
Vale pera muri manzi vena vaisa rundako vara pera after 2 months vara pera 800.
Thank you so much. We do need to accommodate as many callers as possible. You called the FaceTime, could have exhausted your points. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Hasakala.
Atibuti, but Atibunika what? Now this is the man that knows me. In charge Zambia. Kamwamba.
Kamwamba.
This one, Buti ugo kwa mutumino konkuyo.
Wona wasakuyo mugugoma build.
Ano gugutu kwa side.
Hii na baba iwa maguti Uncle Patrick.
Uncle Patrick, amwete angani tiuhe.
Yes, that's you know me very well.
Go ahead, Uncle Patrick.
Makokwa, good morning also.
Good morning, Patrick. Woto twambo tomanda kunjira toba hasakara.
Sure.
Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Ndashi, good morning also.
Good morning. You can go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Enrollment. To be honest, Makokwa, you know the big problem we have here in Zambia. Mondinga takuposapotele alaba mkwani mwobe. No, it's democracy. Democracy eko yabo mundu na kwa denza mungu titetimbecho amona zisi nichilife wino. Mboneni ba Makokwa isi nenda konka wino abandu walilani. Mwachilondolola wino sana kupera at least abantu limbi muri uinshira. Vendere muri ururu baririmba izindu vyaraba bwino. You started the first kwa watu bachita baringishe nchito ama maini Ndashi achirandoke bati baini ama maini ayisebo 40 years in badi sara. UPND came in power bayi bukurusha ida ya kugoma n'abantu bambo kubomba palia apa kumweso kuno here where I am Palwan shop 28 shaft bane nangu tautasha nangu lamisha tati yawe. Okay, come on board and to say abantu bale pass. So then as we can direct them to say no, if it aukwete chakuria infra inga ya isa come here in Mpongwe, do farming ka 10 kg maize, you have a harvest wala kwa te chakuria olonda tawle kwanisha send for us, we can manage to do for you and no isa wala kukwelekera muri bus power tools any bus yala isa matawa yala kukonga guruza kokokoli. That is my humble appeal to those who are saying no kulinsala. Thank you very much. Let me end from there. I don't want you to cut me.
Thank you, Uncle Patrick. We are about to actually. Thank you so much for noticing. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Yes. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Good morning.
Yes, please. I think HH has done something good.
Your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm calling you from Maninga.
What's your name again?
My name is Senior Citizen.
That's your national name.
My name is Godwin.
Thank you so much.
Yes, please. What I'm trying to say is let's be sincere in our contributions and see, as a Zambian, have seen what HH has done. Being a senior citizen, I've seen most of these political parties come and go. So let's not just go into leadership for prestige, but we should make sure that these people who want to become leaders, they should not have a hate in them. Because if they have a hate in them, there's no development in the country. Let us try to be united, and we shall see more development in the country.
But if we shall have that, mu bantu babagatera gufimo. So let's just like to give HH these 5 years and let him go. After that, we shall see good things coming. Thank you very much.
Tatutira sana, senior citizen, for coming through and giving us your thoughts. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, morning.
Your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Kashkishi.
And your name is?
My name is Mulenga James.
Bamulenga konkanya nipo.
Kwena icho ndela ndapo peparisi balela ndoko kulusakati yo bale bomba. Ushebali pitako ba HH kuri musego akashikishiri muchinda road. Bali chitafie zifine ero na ngwama district ya chireba PF. Tabapitana mu mwali onaika. Ero social cash transfer nayo besa mukuti bepa vyobufi kweneko yaba nomba abayishire banawo. Chinchi bashira ama contracts aya ama new district aya ayo ba PF bashire tabya ikatana ko ba mukusokotela tumbusu ba mukusokotela na findi era na economy tairi buno nga warulo mwana wa mutuma ku market atikavyeka step omunani wa 100 kwacha kuti wa mumi na mwishira ero abantu barera ndati iyo economy iri vye buno dola yes irepo na nomba dola ero irepo Finchi twala bomba ko fo kwa bati ati bari will fix it ushe ku fix ta inchi yo baka fix ta kanshi iyo twakulalolera fo
Thank you so much.
Bachanda beriabo bachanda bo twali beshi ba ma political filiabe ne bambi balanda mu kisungu te bantu abatinturu yo ero kairi pisipu na yeneyo o airete ni nani ibana ni bamwana wa abaretere na riya na yone ni ba PF
Tatutira mkwai.
Transfer na ni ba PF ni shile na tabatashisha ero kairi kuita bura bo lebati bamu
097995839.
Just quick facts, Mike.
Yeah.
About social cash transfer. Because
Exactly.
a lot of people have spoken about social cash transfer and have spoken about how it was left by the previous governments. Social cash transfer, when the Patriotic Front left office, beneficiaries were standing at 500,000. And as we speak, there are about 1,311,101 people that are benefiting on social cash transfer. So probably when the UPND speaks about social cash transfer, it speaks
about
to the people that have been included. This has more than doubled. So maybe people should get to understand that it is something that was there and that was appreciated then. But imagine now extending this facility that people have been appreciating so much to double the figure from 500,000 to 311,101 people now that are enjoying a social cash transfer.
Such as free education was a thing, like people would tell you in the counter eras.
Yeah.
Now getting to be revamped and about 2 million kids going back
back to school.
Yeah.
Nobody speaks about TRIA. I doubt if I've heard about two that have spoken about
the rural electrification.
That is not the issue. The issue was the other energy sources that the UPND government has come up with, and this is solar plants that the UPND has come up with. We've seen the Chisamba 100 megawatts and another 100 megawatts coming on. We've seen Mamba also. So it is not about the rural electrification. It is about providing electricity. Yeah.
Interesting. We get into the comment section, or rather the inbox, and just get to find out how you have been expressing your thoughts and your views this far on the show. A few messages before we get to go on a break. This one says, good morning and greetings, Professor Ndashi, Dr. Hasagala. Thank you so much. And Dr. Hakozi. Always my pleasure to be part of the wonderful RBS, representing the great people of Kashinakaji village of Manyinga district. Hasambambi Hachijiga.
There's a lot of hearts.
Now I love this.
Oh my goodness.
I was delighted.
Zambia should have been aware that the Hasakara was a way of running away from pound.
Yeah.
No. He is actually well, he's very well vested in the information. He knows. He's among the few people that know that I'm from Southern Province.
This is why Mr. Munonga is like, you journalists, you've got a lot of words. I was delighted to note that Milk Day is observed in our country. My proposal is that from that big chunk allocated to CDF, there should be an allocation for milk to be free on Milk Day. Let's debate about this countrywide. The ball is now in your court. I urge you, learned colleagues at Crown TV, to take it further. Better late than never. Happy Milk Day, Victor Chisela in Luancha. My number is 09.
Good morning, Crown TV Kings diggers. The station is informing and educating. I'm very disappointed with the attendance of JJ. I relish it. How can he say that the chief was killed by HH? Those people, they just don't like HH. They thought that he'll never be president. God is the only one who makes a way. They are just injuring the family of the late king, Major One in Libuyu, the Harbor Farmers, Chicago, the smoke that thunders, Shungu na Mtetima.
Big shout out to my fellow Libuyan there. Big shout out. From Chicago City. Major One, see you. Let's get into the other text message. It says, good morning, Crown panelists. Loving you as you articulate national matters and genuinely a media station with no malice. Always factual, on point. We need you always. Congratulations to our head of state, Hakainde Hichilema, Samuel of Lusaka. I'm always tempted to mention his name as Samuel Jackson because, like, Samuel, I'm just like, Samuel L. Jackson.
That's why you put Samuel so that there's no space for L. Jackson.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for writing to us.
Muzuire Bo City, happy birthday, Bali. Today is also my birthday. Bonali Shuba Kwamkushi. Wow. Happy birthday, Bonali Shuba. We appreciate that you are watching and you are celebrating your birthday today. Happy birthday and enjoy your day.
We'll throw some flour and eggs on you spiritually.
Yeah. Enjoy your day as you're celebrating it alongside Bali. Happy birthday. Good morning. I wish the Republican President Isaga in the age of my happy birthday to you. I'm Andrew from Mansal, Wapula Province, Zambia. Thank you so much, Andrew, for writing to us. And thanks for those happy birthday messages directed at the Republican President.
Good morning, Royal Breakfast Show. Happy birthday, Mr. President. And I wish you many more years to come. And remember that my present to you is my vote. Mondoluka Elvis from Chirundu border. It's supposed to be confidential. But now the whole world knows.
As far as I know, your vote is your secret.
Right?
And you just made it public.
Good morning, Brother Makokwa, Ndashi, and Mike. It has puzzled me to see that young Mike without powder being smeared on his face and head. So that means at Crown TV, we have someone to do the job. A comment on the signing of free education bill by the hard-working president is very commendable. That's why he was voted for Plot 1 job to work for the people. Seriously, he is a game changer. Makokwa, Mike and Dash and my sister Mainza, bye, as I will be away for 2 months of harvesting maize and other crops in Lufwanyama. We have to fend for ourselves. Boma Yanga Nepo is a thing of the past. The nationalist Henry Chola Bulangiriro Kitwe in Kitwe. Mr. Chola.
This is where the ladies say, oh, I'm gonna miss you.
I already put the signals. Broken heart signals.
No, thank you. Like for real.
Thank you very much.
Quite a long time.
Yeah. He's been such a very he is a very active member of the Royal Breakfast Show, and he has been contributing. And I feel that we did not do justice on that road that has been requested.
No,
for,
we
will,
definitely on it.
Get to it shortly. It's good that he's going harvesting, and he says bye to us that he's going to harvest instead of inviting us to go and help harvest.
I love the fact that I'm hoping that when he comes back, he's going to tell us that we should visit him because with the harvest and everything. I mean,
paid for.
We're going to be here representing you on your behalf, while you are harvesting on our behalf. Yeah. So also for the fact that you are not seeing any powder is because I am from Southern Province. My name is Mike Hasagala, and for now we're going to be going on a very short break. When we come back, we do continue with the Royal Breakfast Show, the Thursday edition of it. Stay tuned.
Salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ have come. Lift one hand and now lift the other hand, because our man of God in a surrendered position is more dangerous than an entire army.
The Lord of hosts is the one who is the King of glory. So when you're with the Lord of hosts, you can access the glory realm. He is the King of glory who rules over all creation.
It is your gift that will bring you before great men. Each of you have a gift. The Bible says Jesus took captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. All of you have a gift. Find it and use it to solve the problems of others. Therein lies your wealth.
Whenever we are increasing, we become a threat to the children of darkness. Even Jesus saw them in his time and he identified them. He said, "You children of serpents."
This June, step into a bigger entertainment experience with more to love on Us. We're talking more drama, more action, more unforgettable stories, all waiting for you. We're opening up our world of entertainment so you can view more. Okay. This June, pay for your current GoTV subscription and we'll upgrade you at no extra cost.
The ultimate business stage is back. From the 1st to the 7th of July, the Trade Fairgrounds in Ndola will be buzzing with endless opportunities. But how does your business stand out in the crowd? You get on the big screen with Crown TV. We will be live in Ndola, ready to take your brand straight into the homes of millions. From primetime commercials to exclusive event coverage, we create advertising that drives real results. Don't miss out. Visit the Crown TV stand in Ndola between July 1st and July 7th or contact our sales team today to secure your special trade fair advertising package. Crown TV, feel the honor.
Now you see, politics is not just about speeches and headlines. It is the heartbeat of every country's economy. From the power struggles, the promises, the people's voices, and the truths that hide between the lines. On the Royal Breakfast Show, we do not just report politics. We break it down. We connect the dots. We tell the story behind the story with clarity, in-depth, and courage.
And in the world of sports, every pass, every shot, and knockout. From the cheers of the roaring fans to the thrill of the final whistle. Trust the Royal Breakfast crew to bring it to your eyes first.
Are you planning an investment or trade? Money Markets wakes you up to numbers that shape the day. Let your business meet opportunity.
Now, because we understand that the decisions made by our leaders do directly affect you in the communities, we do make sure that we bring to you news from the communities so that you are part of the conversation.
Make sure that you do tune in so that you can find out more about lifestyle hacks as well as diet and fitness. It's not just talk, it's a guide to everyday living in every sense.
Every weekday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Landeni tuminene amuleke lumitiseze
Shiteni tumiretere. Mabuna tu afianta manga fulani kimwa ikibati wanu na fiata chizo in the mix abalala pandalama ba fianta ma
mwakokola sana okwewa tibishe bayi chipekita mwesabene bamakoeni mu Zambia namba 3 wani chimpundula asho aba umwe abakosereka fya kuwina ku Mobile City ukutamba n'okuwina
kila mulungu kasondo ku Crown TV nenshita ya 1930 ifya kuwina.
Mobile City, the phone's paradise.
Welcome back. You are still watching the Royal Breakfast Show on Crown Television, DSTV channel 277, GoTV channel 23, and on Topstar we are on channel 89. Remember that you can also get to catch us on the StarTimes application. Those of you that have your StarTimes on app on your phones, you are privileged to catch us anywhere at any time. If you don't have it yet, go to your Google Play Store and download it right about now. Or those of you that are using iPhones, you can go to your app stores and get to download the StarTimes on app very shortly. I always love to make emphasis of this particular fact that Crown TV will be also going Azam. We'll be on Azam television very shortly. So you should be on the lookout for that particular one. Yes, we are talking all things politics, and obviously, as you know, the environment in the country is already charged when it comes to politics and campaigns. But there is one aspect of politics and campaigns precisely that is oftenly left out. We are talking about the safeguarding of children's welfare. And today, at this particular juncture, I'm so honored to be joined in studio by two colleagues who are very good friends of mine, even just away from the cameras. I'm joined by Mr. Hemis Maunda, who is the Child Rights Policy Advocacy Technical Specialist from Save the Children International, Zambia. Mr. Hemis Maunda, good morning and welcome to the Royal Breakfast Show.
Thank you, and happy to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you. On the other side, on my far left, I'm being joined by Miss Chilobe Kambi. Miss Chilobe, it's lovely to have you.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
It is a pleasure, obviously, for us as well to, have you on board on this particular very important discussion. Like I have earlier mentioned and stated that the country is on heat, so to speak, when it comes to politics and campaigns everywhere. But this particular topic is one that is oftenly overlooked: the welfare of the children. Getting straight into it, I would love to find out, or why the people out there might as well want to find out, why should the protection of children be a priority during election periods, even though we know for a fact that children are not a part of the ballot, even the voting process itself? Why is it important to safeguard them during this period?
Okay, thank you so much. So we know that children below the age of 18 do not cast votes. Yeah. However, we know that the electoral environment affects children. Yeah. So children are exposed to a lot of risks during elections, and these elections influence the safety and stability of the families. They influence a lot of things. They disrupt a lot of normal things that happen in a child life. For instance, they might disrupt education, and they might even disrupt the free movement of children. So we know that children have a right to protection. You know, they have a right to participation, they have a right to development. So therefore, during election, it's important to recognize that children's rights should be at the center and should be protected during this period.
Interesting. Now, going to a second question coming to you, Mr. Hemis, obviously, what are some of the risks that, what are some of the key risks that children face during election times or election periods, and how can these risks be, affect rather the well-being and development of a child?
So like Chilobe has said, so there are several risks that children face. As you know, elections are a form of contestation. So who's more powerful, who should vote for who, it's a time to convince each other, it's a time to dominate spaces. And like Chilobe was saying, they happen in our environment where the children are found. So violence is one of those risks that you tend to see when political parties are not adhering, for example, to the electoral code that denounces violence. When, political campaigns and rallies are not planned well, one group is this side, the other group is the other side, and they're fighting for one space, there's a risk of violence there that you notice. So children are exposed to that, but children are also exposed to risks of manipulation, for example, which could be deadly. There are other people that, for an adult like you to make a campaign song or to dance to a campaign song, they have to negotiate with you, for example, and give you some money. So there are people that take advantage of children. They want to abuse them in the name of, participation, or let's dance to this song so they can then throw it over Facebook. But also what you notice is that this is an open space, isn't it? Everyone is open to campaign. If you also look at the new gathering bill, for example, a lot of the management of crowds, for example, that is stipulated there. There's an interesting clause that says during election year, they are sort of suspended. So people can meet in groups anyhow without informing the police. Criminal gangs, for example, people with ill intentions, traffickers, abductors, can have access to children in the name of hosting a political meeting when in fact not. So there are several risks. Sometimes I always say that we actually forget homes of these same politicians and contestants. You know that they are sold out now to campaigns. A father is a candidate. He's out of home for the next 3 months, trying to canvass who's taking care of their children at home, isn't it? So children of the politicians themselves, they are at risks of attacks, for example, from opponents. The safeguards in the families are not strictly, because we know that Mr. Katuta is from that house, and he's from this political party A and is out campaigning. So you have children from the political homes themselves, if I call them that, but children also within the communities.
Exactly.
And I think that even the policing at this time is strained, because a lot of the duties of the police, for example, now go to managing these political events. What that means is that it exposes children to risks of reduced protection within the community. So elements that would want to take advantage of children then are subjected to that. The last bit I'll also add, for example, is the agency that would be given to child abuse cases at police stations, because it's all crowded out now with concentration on politics. So children could be abused and these cases can go unattended to. So those are some of the risks that I would lay out.
Interesting. Now this brings me up, this brings me to my next question, where I'm very much eager to find out how, political parties as well as candidates and those that are supporting them, how can they get to ensure that, children are not exploited or exposed to harm during campaign periods?
All right, thank you. During elections, we've seen a lot of politicians that might use children as political tools. For example, we have seen children being used to distribute leaflets, children being used in marches, in political rallies. Yeah, in the previous elections, I saw a lot of children, attending these political gatherings and dancing, promoting campaign songs for the politicians, and so forth. So the risks that Hemis attributed to are some of the things that are attributed to politicians. So these campaign activities expose children to these risks. Yeah. And what we are asking politicians is that even as they plan their campaigns, they should plan campaigns with safety of children in mind. Because children usually, they are driven by peer pressure, and also they are enticed by campaign songs and campaign messages.
And the mood of the environment.
And the mood. And the children do not have usually the mental faculties to differentiate, what is propaganda and what is true information. So for children, the propaganda will actually get in their minds, and they'll carry that with them and act out, the same, at home. So what we are asking politicians is to ensure that children's rights are protected, children are protected from violence, and that children are safe within the communities where they are doing campaigns, and that children are not used for political gain, or they are not used as political tools.
Now, just like we earlier mentioned, obviously, children are, prone to act according to how the mood is in the environment. I've seen certain instances where, it's campaign times, there's these vehicles that are passing around with loud music, and kids would love to follow through and just be dancing to the songs, either they be in school or they be, at home. And parents and everybody else that is at that particular point supposed to be taking care of these particular kids will be like, they're following what is happening. But what role do these people have, the caregivers, the school teachers, the administrators, as well as the parents themselves? What role do they have to play in this particular period to ensure that kids are safe from encountering the dangers that come with the political atmosphere, obviously?
So that's a good question. So, and I think it covers a broad range of all of us, isn't it? Before we go to the teacher, for example, in a home, parents, adults must know now where each child is, isn't it? In your home, you must know where the child is, because that's the major control system that you want to know. If the child is not in school, where are they, right? So all of us must begin to ask at any particular time. In case you forget, every time you hear the noise, think about your young sister, think about your child, where are they? So we make an assumption that they come from a home where they are adults, and so adults must look out for children, and they must already start to talk to children the dangers of these campaigns, because they come with risks. For example, we can't hide, and say that we've not seen violence in campaigns before. We know what can happen. So you tell the children, it looks exciting before anything happens, but don't find yourselves don't find yourselves there. I think that's number one. Number two, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, for example, and the Zambia police, when they're allowing these campaign activities, I think that they should demand for marshals for all of these political parties. Who do you have to safeguard the environment? Because this particular area you are going to hold your rally in has a school. It's close to homes. So if they are going to do it in there, they need to have marshals that are going to manage the process. In the absence of that, it becomes risky for everyone within communities. So that I think that it should be a demand, because as you know, the Children's Court Act, for example, Part 17 describes how we should safeguard children. So all these institutions must do those things. And for Save the Children, UNICEF, the Joining Forces Alliance broadly, what we've done is that we've gone ahead to develop a safeguarding guidelines, and a checklist of what political parties must be looking at when they're going to host these events. So that's a demand on political parties. If they're going in a densely populated area, let them have the marshals and let them talk to the police. And I think that's the essence of the Gathering Act, so that we don't risk. But there are also adults that carry their children along to political
rallies.
And candidates don't. Candidates go with their children at parliament when they are opening or giving the budget. They don't go with them at political rallies. No. But when they are going to announce the budget, they'll have the granddaughter with them because they know parliament is safe. So you should ask yourself as a parent, why are you taking your child where the person you are supporting is not bringing their children?
Their own children.
Yeah, isn't it them who should show us that the families are supporting them?
Exactly.
But they're not coming with them. So it's an indication that they know that it's not a good environment for children. So you can't go. I've already seen pictures of a popular politician who's always lifting children. The other time he was up the vehicle and and all of that. And I think that the Electoral Commission of Zambia must give a warning about these candidates that are in a habit of, holding children, lifting children. And it's not safe. Physically, it's not safe. Even health-wise. You give a child to someone who's been greeting 100 other people.
Exactly.
And all of those. So as adults, we shouldn't be going with children. If you have a small child to take care of, sit at home. You can always follow TV. You can always look on Facebook if you want to listen to what they are saying. But if you're in that position, don't. So we think that families must do that. Institutions, it's mandate by law that all institutions that are going to be in contact with children must have safeguarding guidelines. And they are stipulated correctly there. The place must be safe. You should have the police there. You should have the marshals there. You should also announce as a candidate that if they are children, please put them in this spot. So I think that those are some of the things we should be looking at.
And maybe just to add, recently there was a CAB memo, around Ebola. I know we do not have Ebola yet, and gatherings are a place where such diseases as Ebola, thrive. And children are quite susceptible to getting these diseases, during gatherings. So it's really a responsibility of the parents to ensure that children are not subjected to these risks, not just of political violence, but also risks of other issues such as disease. And also the community leaders have a role to play. In our African context, we say it takes a village to raise a child. And so it's everyone's responsibility to ensure that children do not find themselves in unsafe spaces that will put them at risk. For rural areas, some traditional leaders have bylaws, and these bylaws are there to enhance the Ubuntu, the community, in a sense. And these also try to protect children. So these traditional healers can come in hand to ensure that children are left safe where they're supposed to be.
Interesting. Now, obviously, you spoke about children getting to follow through mainstream television as well as Facebook for them to follow through with what the politicians are doing. A case study shows that a very recent one shows that about 86.3% of school adolescents have got access to social media. Now, I want to find out, how can social media and political messaging impact children during election periods, and what measures can be taken to protect children online?
Okay. Social media is here and it's here to stay. Yeah. And social media can be good and can be bad at the same time. And it can be a source of information, good information, but a source of misinformation as well. In this electoral period, it can be a source of propaganda and misinformation, for children. So children must be protected from the online space in terms of social media. Are parents checking what children are accessing, on social media? For instance, there has to be some responsibility in terms of digital access. We've seen parents, taking out phones and giving to children. And the screen time that the children will have is just not healthy, for children. So parents have a responsibility to control that and just to check, what is my child, actually accessing. Other than that, they need to have discussions with the children in terms of the digital content, that is there, just have some literacy around the information in the digital space. And also in terms of politicians as well, they should avoid creating content that misleads the communities, and also the information that is purely propaganda and it's not truth. And as I said earlier, children do not differentiate, the true information and propaganda. Recently I saw, a clip on what happened in South Africa. It's the adults that started, the looting of shops and chasing, foreigners. And what do I see? The following day is the children actually doing the same thing, so children learn from adults. And so when they get this, content posted, they'll take it, as true. So we have a responsibility as politicians to put content that is truthful and that informs the community in relation to what is your, what do you have in terms of the promise that you are putting, to the people. What is it that you are going to bring in terms of development, other than using social media for propaganda?
Now, your answer is pretty much cutting into what I was going to ask next, with regards to either or not there are some standards or guidelines that politicians political actors and election stakeholders should adopt to ensure there's child-friendly as well as child-safe electoral processes. I know that you've touched a little bit of that, but getting to build up on that particular question as well, are there any of those standards or guidelines which politicians and actors should, and obviously election stakeholders should adopt to ensure child-friendly and child-safe electoral processes are there? And in answering that, another question comes through: what warning signs should communities look out for that may indicate children are being exposed to election-related violence, manipulation, or exploitation? I would love those, two questions to be coupled with answers.
Okay, so maybe Hemis can take the safeguarding one.
Yeah. So what we've done is that we've capacitated CID, Zambia Center for Interparty Dialogue, because that's a housing institution for all political parties. And working with them, we've developed the child safeguarding guidelines in elections. We've also developed risk assessments for political parties that they need to look through. We've also done code of conduct for their officers and campaign officers that will do work during their campaign periods. And we've given all the political parties, as far as I know, I can't remember which political party wasn't in that meeting, but these documents are still sitting with Zambia Center for Inter-Party Dialogue. So if there's a political party or there's a candidate, independent candidate or whoever who has no access, they don't have to start thinking from zero. These documents are already there. Let them just get in touch with Zambia Center for Inter-Party Dialogue and then have access to these documents. But also, the positive thing we don't say about, the Cyber Security Act, for example, it stipulates your engagements online to make children safe, right? And it's very clear. The Children's Code Act is very clear. Minister of Community Development and Social Services is housing the Child Safeguarding Framework. All of these pieces will help political parties. It's simple English, easy to explain, for them to follow. And then just apply, and it will be very, very straightforward for them. So in terms of safeguarding, I think joining forces, UNICEF have done a tremendous work ahead of elections, and these safeguarding documents are there for political parties to use.
Yeah, but also, Hermes, it's a responsibility of these parties, to ensure that the individuals that they are working with, their teams, everybody involved in the election activities are aware, and actually take responsibility to ensure that the contents in these documents, in the safeguarding, manuals, policies, are actually responding appropriately to protecting children. Sometimes you can have, the documents and then they are not translated into action. So it is a responsibility for the politicians to ensure that their teams, their counterparts, and whoever they are working with are able to understand what is in these policy documents and translate them into action for the safety of children.
I'd love for you to touch on the other question, which are there notable signs? For instance, if I'm staying with my young brother, I'm staying with my cousin, how do I know from just him approaching that this person is under the influence of political manipulation or exploitation? Are there signs that parents can be on the lookout for? And what should they do in that particular instance if they get to note those signs?
Yeah, there are signs, and usually, yes, and I know, and usually it's the songs, the campaign songs that start, with the dancing and so forth. The next, you see a child coming with leaflets. Who gives the child the leaflets? The child starts missing school, and the child, you notice long, absentia, from home. The child has been gone from morning until, evening. And the parents don't even, notice. And usually, children that have been, especially when there's violence, if a child has been subjected to violence, they start having, issues, affecting them in terms of behavior. There's just some, strange behavior that, that happens with children, and children starts behaving, funny, and in relation to the messages that, that they are getting. So we need to start, identifying, these signs, changing the behavior, changing the routine patterns of the child, absenteeism, child's going away from home for a long time, and also just, they are just enthroned in these, political, issues, and you are able to tell, so exactly. So we need to identify these as early as possible so that we take action first at home and then as a community.
Interesting.
And just to add, because if you see, there's this bracket that we are discussing, but there's the upper bracket, 15, 16, 17.
Definitely.
You will notice that they will be in isolation and they are busy on their phones. What you are not aware is that they are having intense political conversations. Now young people insult like no man's business, and you can see aggression begins to develop even amongst the family members. So those are some of the issues that would signal to you that this person could be involving themselves in dangerous conversations, and how they make comments of particular candidates when they show up on TV, on social media. You can tell that they are being either recruited or participating in very unhealthy political conversations.
Finally, in our discussion, as Zambia approaches future elections, what practical actions should government, civil society organizations, political party, the media, and citizens at large take to ensure every child remains safe and protected during this particular period?
Government has a responsibility, to protect your children generally. It's a responsibility of government to ensure that children are safe from violence and that children continue to learn and that their education is not disrupted even during this period. However, political parties should commit to child safe campaigning. That's the first one. And the supporters should also be accountable, because usually the politician, as Hemis was saying, the politician will not take their child to their rally, but you have these supporters usually who are, become so much entangled and instigate, violence. So the politicians should be able to ensure that their supporters and whoever is following them are accountable and protect the children. And then the role of civil society, as Hemis has said, Save the Children and other civil society, it's our responsibility to create awareness in relation to protection, of children and what must be done and what should not be done, and be able to identify the risks and report these risks and work with government as well as other enforcement within government to ensure that children are protected. Hemis talked about marshals. It's the responsibility of ECZ to ensure that children are protected, because the child court bill is law and it's there to ensure that children are protected. The media, such as Crown television, you need to report responsibly, and before you even report, your content should be that protects children. And should be around true information and not propaganda, and ensure that information is safe. And citizens and communities, we also have a responsibility. I think we have already talked about that. How can we promote peaceful coexistence? For instance, why should we fight during elections when the same people come together during football? It's really some strange phenomena. I think the coexistence is very important, within communities. And ultimately, for an election to be successful, it has to be free and fair, but at the same time, it has to protect the younger citizens, who are the children, so that we ensure that children are safe, they continue learning, and that their lives are not disrupted.
Ms. Chilobe, as well as Mr. Hemis Maunda, thank you so much for making time to come through to the Royal Breakfast Show for today. We really appreciate your insight on these particular matters, and we're looking forward to having future engagements and conversations in line with this.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I've been talking to Mr. Hemis Maunda, who is a child rights policy and advocacy technical specialist from Save the Children Zambia, as well as Ms. Chilobe Mloba Kambi, the country director for Save the Children Zambia. We'll be just talking about how we as a country have got a collective responsibility of ensuring that kids and children stay safe amidst this particular period of elections. On behalf of everybody else that has been involved in today's production, I'm talking about Mr. Makokwa Kozi, talking about Dash the Greatest, or Dash Mataka, Mainza Mbala, and the entire production crew. My name is Mike Sakala. We'll see you tomorrow on Friday, and we are getting to urge you to stay safe and ensure that you continue watching Crown Television. It's bye for now, and stay blessed.
Okay.